there's another space shuttle going to go up. Isn't that exciting?
No.
Does anybody care about anything anymore?
No.
No. Are we all in a great, big, gigantic funk?
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah. Well, we fought the good fight, even though there was only 10 of us there for most of the game, because you know who did you know what, and they were each and every one of them were little heroes.
Oh right, yeah.
Still, there's always a Euro 2008 to look forward to.
Oh right, yeah.
I'm exhausted. I am totally drained from that experience. It was a game of 4 halves and we lost all of them. Painful. I can't believe we've gone out of the quarter-finals on penalties again. Are they going to fire Ronaldo like they did to what's his name back in Italy? I can't remember the chap's name, but he was playing for a club in Italy and he sent Italy out of the last World Cup. And so as soon as he got back to work at his Italian club, they fired him. So I think that's something for... Oh, of course, he's Scottish, so he couldn't care less. You know, the red-faced hairdryer bloke, whose name escapes me for the moment. Ferguson, that's the fella. So, yes. And the Mirror and the Sun today both went with the same thing. It was the same picture as well. Your country needs Roo. The old Kitchener poster, he's pointing at us and smiling. He's not smiling now. Yeah, we did need Roo, and you screwed it up, you stupid boy. Doesn't he look like, he does look like the missing link. You know that there's a link in the evolutionary chain that they haven't quite found yet, in between, I'll just make this part up, Cro-Magnon man and Paleolithic man. It's completely off the top of my head. I've got no idea what I'm talking about now. But there's definitely, you know, an evolutionary link. There's a gap there that the scientists haven't found, you know, the bones. Always looking for bones, they are. Well, you know, them and every woman that's in the Big Brother house. And they haven't found that particular set. There it is, right there. Am I right? That picture right there with Wayne Rooney pointing at us, that's got to be it. He does look like he's just popped out of a cave. My mind keeps... Every time I see him, I can't put the picture that they printed in the rabid tabloids of him and his family emerging from the sea. Do you remember that? It was a couple of years ago. Him and his mum and his dad, I think they were, marching up the beach as though they were about to annex whichever land they were approaching. And they were all marching in perfect kind of troglodytic rhythm. It was scary to watch. They didn't look human at all. That's an awful thing for me to say, and I do apologise. Well, no, I don't. Not after he did that. I don't apologise. I wonder if there's going to be effigies of him hanging off lampposts in London's East End, and all over Manchester, indeed, just like they did to... you know, Darling Dave, who seems to have, you know, done the business. Every time he goes on the field since, he's been leading the team by example. In fact, he's the only one who can complete a pass. This is going to be Talk Sport now, from now until 1 a.m. I only want calls about football. That's not true. I don't want calls about... Well, I'll take a few. There's going to be people who want to vent their rage, or to just laugh in our faces, depending on where they come from. What did we think of it, boys? Long period of silence.
We were just groaning.
Groaning, yeah. You see the whole thing? Of course you do.
Although someone couldn't stand around to watch the penalties.
No, I had to leave the studio.
Did you?
Too stressful.
Oh, I've heard this from other people, because I was coming home from my other job.
20 hours on air today?
Yeah, 36 hours on the air.
Oh,
That's
just
partly why I'm so tired. You know what? I shouldn't even be here. I should be standing in front of Roger Waters, flying away on a pink cloud of Floyd, because he's playing The Dark Side of the Moon in Hyde Park right now. And
They'll probably be finished now. It's Hyde Park. They finish really early.
Do they?
Yeah.
So I'm going to the Who tomorrow, so that's a good heads up. Thanks a lot.
Make sure you get there early.
Right. Yeah, I should have been there. I should be flying by now. Flying, you know, home on the tube, because they finish early, as you said. I got caught up in the Gay Pride March today. I went to work, and normally I just come out of the tube, cross the road, and there's work. But I came out of the tube, and there were 10 million people with whistles going by on barges with wheels. And they were screaming and shouting they were. And
So did you enjoy it?
loud disco music. Well, not really, because I was trying to get past them to go to work, which was which I found really impossible. It took me half an hour to cross a road that normally takes 10 seconds. Yeah, it was it was quite a surprise. Because, you know, like rubbing the sleep out of your eyes as you do when you go into work, even though I start at 2, still was doing that. And you're not really prepared for it. You've got this mental image of what you're going to be doing, and you just go through the motions, right? You get out of the tube, go to Pret, buy a tuna sandwich and a bottle of apple juice, because I'm not doing coffee anymore. And that was a great addiction of mine, coffee. Of course, I went into hospital and had, major heart attack surgery, and it's all right, I'm okay now. You didn't ask. But the doctor said you must forswear coffee. He also said I must forswear a lot of other things, but I wasn't listening, But I thought, yeah, all right, well, I'll do your coffee. I'll make a deal. Forget the other stuff, and I'll give up the tea and the coffee. Don't miss it a bit. Had a headache for about a day. But from an actual addiction where I couldn't get through the morning without a real strong, like a pint of Turkish coffee where you can stand the spoon up in it. You could actually plant potatoes in it and they would grow almost immediately, to nothing at all in the space of one day. And I'm okay. I feel fine now. I feel like a member of a female member of the royal family, because in the morning now I have a hot cup of water with a slice of lemon in it.
And your porridge.
How gay parade is that? And my porridge, yeah, which is it's half gay parade, half army manoeuvres, because that's what they march on, isn't it? Porridge. So I feel I'm like right down the middle, metrosexual.
Do you have a man bag?
Do I have a man bag? I have a carrier bag. Does that count? I carry all my stuff around. Look, the show's in here.
I don't know.
That doesn't count, really, does it?
No.
My man bag's in the carrier bag. I'm in disguise, just in case anybody, rumbles me. Here's one in Crouch End. Hello, Chris.
Oh, hello. It doesn't matter that England is out of the World Cup, because after all, it's only a game. And it's so hot. I mean, it's a wonder that people can even walk around, let alone play football. I don't know if it's this hot in Germany, but if it
Only
is...
a game? It's not life and death? Is that what you're saying? Not life and death. No,
Exactly.
it's much more important than that.
No, it's only a game, and Wayne Rooney isn't a missing link because there isn't a missing link, so he can't be...
Oh, they found it?
No, there isn't a missing link. There's no missing link. But as I say, football's only a game. There's much more important things to worry about than football.
Like what, for instance? Name me one thing.
Like crime and trying to reduce crime, like...
I thought Tony Blair had done that already. Wasn't he going to be tough on crime and tough on the causes of crime?
Well,
I'm sure I remember him saying something. Oh, no, he's been in, 9 years now? I'm sure he'll have done something about that by now.
No, there's still lots of causes of crime.
Right.
I mean, we've got casinos, we've got 24-hour drinking.
Casinos are a cause of crime.
Well, if people go and drink at casinos and stay late, and we know that many crimes are committed under the influence of alcohol. In fact, there was something in the paper, I think on Friday, saying that drunken crime has gone up much.
But not really in casinos. I mean, I would think that most casinos would have a higher class of clientele.
Well, it's still stealing money from people. It's people wasting their money, isn't it?
Oh, well, wasting your money is one thing, but having it stolen from you, that's another. I mean, if you, of your own free will, march up to a table and put money down on number 5, and to your astonishment it doesn't come up, then that's your own stupid fault.
No, but I mean, there shouldn't be casinos in the first place.
Oh, don't be daft, Chris. Well, then there shouldn't be anything that anybody would disagree with.
Well, no, I mean, there should be some things, but I'm not daft. I've got my opinion, and it doesn't make me daft. I could say the same thing about you, but I'm not going to, could I? You have your freedom of opinion, but it doesn't make somebody daft because they disagree with you. I think that casinos are very bad because people lose a lot of money on casinos.
Yeah, it's their own stupid fault. I mean, people lose a lot of money on junk food, and it's their fault too.
Yes, but if there weren't, these things,
if there weren't casinos, people wouldn't gamble.
That's right.
I don't think so. Why? Well, gambling wasn't invented by casinos. Casinos were built in order to sate people's need to do it.
But people don't have a need to gamble.
Yeah, I think they probably do.
No,
Yeah,
they don't.
Yeah, I think that.
There's
All of the, I mean, you could say that all of business is gambling. I mean, how do you make money? You gamble in some way, don't you?
You mean
I mean,
the stock market?
yeah, and you reproduce by gambling. I mean, you go up, you see someone who's fantastic at the other end of the bar, and you think, well, they might embarrass me by telling me to go and take a running jump at myself, or they might say, yes, it's a gamble.
Yes, but it's not gambling with money, is it?
No,
it's not wasting money.
It's much more important. It's gambling with face.
Face. Oh,
Face.
so it's terrible to lose face, is it? I mean,
If you're Japanese.
well, I think in everybody's heart it's terrible to lose face, but I think a bit more sort of humility would be in order, especially with the people who are running a country, politicians. A bit more, people always go on about image, but image isn't important half as much as the character of the person who's running the country. And this country, England, I don't think we had gambling casinos in Victorian times.
No, but people still gambled. The royal people gambled. They were notorious for it. You go around, what's that place out there on the Thames with the big frontage? King Henry VIII used to carouse around there. Hampton Court. Yeah, there's gambling tables there where royal people who had far more money than their subjects and mates used to fleece them.
But they could, I mean, I'm not saying it's right, but they could afford to lose the money. But the ordinary populace...
Alex says it's bad to lose face if you're the A team. What a great contribution he's made.
The A team. Well, as I say...
Yeah.
So,
hey, Chris, you know what? You sound like you just called up for a fight.
Oh, I like a good discussion, and I think most people listening to the radio like a good discussion.
But is it a discussion? Because I feel that you just called up for a fight. Like you're getting... when you have a good discussion with people, do you feel like the juices inside you start to boil up? That's something to get addicted to as well. And I know of which I speak, because I used to be really addicted to it, such that I would wind myself up in situations which completely didn't warrant getting wound up in, and you'd get a sense of the excitement, the whatever it is, the adrenaline building in you, and then you think, oh yeah, there it is. It's almost like it is like a drug. You get addicted. Yeah, I think that's what, because I've spoken to you before, and you say a couple of things, and then straight away it's like, and you're attacking. I think you like the fight.
No,
you like the adrenaline.
No, you can't prove to me that there's a missing link. So it's nothing about being wound up. It's a rational argument. So you can't counter my argument, can you? Because I haven't heard you counter it yet.
What, about the missing link?
About the missing link.
Well, you don't seriously think that I honestly thought that Wayne Rooney was a missing link,
no,
do you?
I didn't.
Right,
No,
okay,
I
well then
didn't
you're
think-
just being silly now.
No, I'm not being silly, because people are always talking
yes.
about this missing link, but there isn't a missing link. Because
Right.
people are created after their own kind, and cows, baby cows are born from mother cows, and baby rhinoceroses are born from mother rhinoceroses, and birds do not come from fish.
And they all went on 2 by 2. Yeah, all right, thanks a lot, Chris. I'm going to send some... Oh, I better not say it. Hey, do you have any children? Oh, she's gone. We'll never know. This is LBC 97.3. I'll be away to come back.
Steve Allen wants...
But I like a fight too, and as I was saying before, that am I alone in this, in being addicted to the adrenaline rush? Because I was I sort of got myself wound up for about 10 years there, and for every time that I would do the slightest little thing, I don't know, putting a pen down and it would drop off the desk, which is what most normal people would just pick it up. But if I was in the right, or really the wrong mood, I would just go berserk, like an insane person. I'm not crazy, but I would wind, and I wouldn't be doing it externally, I would be doing it to myself, because I could feel you get a little tinge of the adrenaline, and you think, oh, yeah, there it is, and then you start to work yourself up, and you'd make the slightest little inconvenience into the greatest problem. And it was only when I realised that that's what I was doing that I could stop it. It's the old adage that you can't help yourself until you realise you have a problem, right? And I mean, I stopped it like that. And I feel much better for it, calmer. You go through life, just chill out, man. There's a lot to be said for that. A lot of chilled people are leaving Hyde Park around about now, I would think. Man, Dark Side of the Moon he was playing. Still, it's The Who tomorrow. I haven't seen them since 1976. I only want calls about Wayne Rooney, The Missing Link, and The Who. From now till 1. Let's see which one of those that this person wants to talk to. He's in Clapton. Biss.
Yes, how are you?
I'm all right, mate.
I never talked to you before. I always talk to Clive.
Oh, yeah.
Can you hear me clear?
Oh, you are coming through crystal.
No, oh, yeah, because, anyway, don't worry. You done it all right with that lady you were talking to.
Well, she was a nice lady, but, and
she was all right, but
she livened me up a bit, because I was in a bit of a funk, but now I'm feeling a bit better now.
Yeah,
it is just a game.
I have some friends, they go to the bookie. You know, I don't go, but they goes there, you know. They meet the friend. They meet the friend, or they spend an hour or so, and that's it.
They meet their friends.
What trying to say?
In the bookie? Oh, come on, Biss. It's not a friendly place. I've been in a bookie once. It was a nightmare. It's not a place you'd want to hang around.
No, I have a friend, and he goes there, and he meets his friend, and he does a bit, put a couple of pan and all that, and that's it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you don't go, you miss it.
Actually, booking...
Such as people go for a walk or jogging, and then, you know, do things like...
have lunch,
or whatever.
Pilates, that sort of thing, yeah.
Yeah, so you miss something, innit? You know what I'm trying to say?
No, not
that
really.
lady, she's gone, anyway. Now, what I was going to say, yeah, right. I was going to tell Clive about it, but he's not on. You know the water boat?
Which one?
You know the water board, the Thames Water, whatever they say, or sort of water and all that.
Yeah, the water board, yeah.
Listen. And they say our water is shortage. I was going to make him laugh, but anyway, I'll tell you what's happening. All of you is listening. I've got a very good idea. You know this small animal called beavers? You know, they make dam and all that?
Oh, no.
You know
Beavers. Where's this going to go? Yes?
Is that beaver? Beavers.
Beavers.
What do you call it?
Mm-hmm.
Beaver.
Yeah.
The water board, I didn't know they are so clever. They're spending so many thousands or millions of pounds. Why don't they breed some beavers? And I live Clapton there, near Hackney Moss, and leave some beavers there. They make a dam. You know, there's plenty of water. You know what I'm trying to say?
Okay, well, we'll think about that. Well, I don't know. Let's take a vote, shall we? Is he right or wrong? No, I'm afraid you lose there. But beavers, that's what we need. More beavers. What do you think? No?
There's a joke in there somewhere.
There is, yeah. It's staring you right in the face. I'm not going to go there, girlfriend. Mandy in London Colney. She's gutted about the football. Oh, come on, Mandy. It's just a game.
Hello?
Mandy.
Yes.
Gutted?
Absolutely gutted.
Upset?
Yes.
Distraught?
Yes.
Unconsolable?
Getting that way. Very hot.
Hot, yeah. Bothered?
Yes.
Yeah.
Have to undress my car tomorrow, won't I?
You'll have to do what now?
Undress my car.
Oh, that's right. I was coming in. I've never seen the streets so empty. At this time of night, Saturday night, I drove up the King's Road. I was the only car on the King's Road. I've never seen that before. It's unbelievable. 'Cause normally, you drive onto the King's Road and you expect to be sitting in stationary traffic for the next half hour, right? It's a nightmare. Even on Sundays. In fact, Sundays is probably worse than during the week. But I got on there. It was like the bomb had dropped.
Really?
There was just no one out at all.
Really?
So everyone was crying into their pints. Or they're probably... I passed a few pubs and there was a real racket coming from them. So they were either supporters of whoever was playing at the time. Who was it? France and Brazil.
Yeah. France won, didn't they?
Oh, yeah, thanks a lot. I was going...
You were going to watch it later?
Yeah.
Well, it's been on your news all night. I didn't...
Yeah, well, I close my ears and I'd stick my fingers in my ears and hum loudly to myself. Oh, well, I didn't think I'd make it. Thanks a lot, Mandy. I was 25 minutes in and I thought, I only had 2.5 hours to go, and I thought, if I don't mention it on the air, nobody will call in and tell me about it.
I'm sorry.
Fortunately, you did. Oh, well.
I didn't watch it because I couldn't take any more football. I watched Big Brother or something.
Now I can save my time by not watching any silly football and spend more of my time watching
You can watch Big Brother.
Yeah.
And the Fourth Boob Brigade.
I don't like the new people that are in Big Brother. We don't want to talk about this now, do we?
No, I'll talk about my chat line, I'll talk about anything, but not football.
This was in the Sun today.
What?
If we're subjected to a penalty shootout today...
Yeah.
This is in the Sun Says column. The Sun Says.
Yeah.
If we're subjected to a penalty shootout today, we can, for once, be sure of, guess what? That's right, victory.
Oh, yeah, really?
Yeah. Scientists have sent our boys the formula for a perfect spot kick, so we're safe in the knowledge that Bex, as he steps up to take the decider, will be focused only on this.
Yeah.
X plus Y plus S over 2 times T plus I plus 2B over 4 plus V over 2 minus 1.
God. So really, our two best, like Bex and Rooney, not there.
No, he is,
And why did he take off Lennon?
Lennon. Lennon's...
the Tottenham player who I support Tottenham. Why did they take him off and put that stupid Peter Crouch on or somebody? I don't know.
No, they took him off to put Carrick on, didn't they?
Oh, Carrick, yeah.
Because they thought that he was more experienced at taking penalties.
He did. Did he get one in? I can't remember now.
No.
He's the one that scored too early. Took it too early, isn't he?
Oh, that's right. And he had to.
Right, yeah.
He had to take it again, and then it
went in.
Yeah. But you knew as soon as it went to penalty. Well, you didn't. You thought maybe this time, with the law of averages, like Gary Lineker said, the law of averages is in our favour. But I don't know. Maybe next time. I don't know if I can stand it anymore.
No.
Euro 2008. Can we wait?
No.
No.
But it's so sad. It's so sad.
It is a little bit. But honestly, did we think that we were going to make it to the final? No.
No, but
did we think we actually had a
final.
chance of making it to the final? Or through the semi-final? I mean, if we'd won tonight, would we have a cat's chance in hell of going past the next round? No. Were we even remotely good enough? All of these world-class players who do the business week in, week out for their respective clubs turn into, I don't know, clod-hopping dopes when they pull on the England shirt. They just morph into people who don't look like they play the game anymore, hoofing the ball up to the front from the back. That seems to be their game plan. Everybody else is, all the other teams are passing it delicately in amongst themselves and playing, I don't know, what would you call it? Football. We're just a bunch of clodhoppers, yeah. And whose fault is that? That's right. Still, no more of him now, eh? Now we get to experience his right-hand man.
No, I don't think that's the right
truth. Well, it's no. Well, the right decision it may or may not be, but that's what we're saddled with.
The beautiful
C97.3.
Nick Abbott.
0870 90 90 973.
Chelmsford. I used to live near there. Hello, Steve.
Yeah, hello, Nick. No, you usually say that to me. You went to Boswell's, didn't you?
Boswell's Comprehensive. It's still in the news, as a matter of fact.
I heard that.
All bad reasons, yeah. Girls getting excluded.
All the time. It's just, it's not the best, is it, really, to be honest?
I remember that somebody, not me, but someone that I knew, sprayed, because there's a gigantic brick wall that's just begging to be sprayed on. And this was in the period where people didn't used to spray things.
Outside, yeah?
No, this was inside the playing ground, where we used to kick footballs up against the wall. This was in a period before not every single thing that isn't nailed down got sprayed on. I got that the wrong way around, but you know what I mean. Everything that's not moving is spray canned in this country. And so it was a revolutionary concept then, and somebody sprayed on it. I can't remember the headmaster's name. We'll call him Mr. Chips. Okay. Mr. Chips is I don't know what they called him, pig, donkey, ass. I can't remember. And so they got rid of it by scrubbing out the letters with a brush.
Right.
But if you do that, then you just end up with no paint there, but a very, very clean image of the words, because the rest of the bricks were quite dirty, and so they just so it stood out just as much as if they hadn't have brushed it off in the first place. It's probably gone by now.
Well, no, Boswell's is still there, unfortunately.
No, the spray can.
That probably is, I would imagine, yes.
It's covered underneath decades of grime. You got any idea how dirty London is? Oh, good grief!
Yeah,
it's
I was
incredible.
There yesterday, and
you wash your car,
and I sneezed, and there was like
black.
loads of dirt.
You wash your car, and then the very next day, it's covered in. I don't know what it is. And if you think about it, if you're outside, if you ever go outside, never go outside, Steve.
I will try not to.
If you do go outside, you're covered in that too. All that grime and filth that you see on your car every day, that's on you. Isn't that vile?
But do you know what the best thing is about it? It's the fact that you have to actually pay to go there.
And down on the tube, you know what all that dust is?
Oh, it's horrible.
Well, much of it is, rubble from bricks and so on, but I imagine that most of the dust that's flying around on the tube and in your eyes and up your nose is dead skin. From 100 years of people sloughing bits of skin off intimate parts of their body. It's going right up your nose. Isn't that vile?
Lovely. Anyway, Nick, I wanted to talk to you about Carol. Miss McGiffin.
Ms. McGiffin to you?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yes. No.
No.
But obviously you're aware that she's back on LBC.
What?
Yes. No.
I don't like you, but because I've been playing these clips, these same clips for ages now, and in my mind, every time for years now, in my mind, every time I say or somebody else says no, in my mind it goes no.
I know, me too. Me too. What?
Exactly. It's just weird. I've got a McGiffinator carried around in my brain all the time.
I know, and every time I see her on like Loose Women, it's the same. When she goes no. And it's exactly the same. I'm just wondering if there's any chance of like her getting back with you on the show, like for a guest appearance or something.
I would love to do a show with Carol again. We're very good together. We're actually, from memory, I think that, from what other people have told us, we're properly funny together. Yeah,
Well,
I'd love to do a show with Carol.
On LBC at all? Have you actually listened to any of her shows this week? She's standing in for James O'Brien.
Oh, I never listen to anything else, except when I'm listening to the other place that I work for. Yeah.
But no, seriously, Nick, have you actually heard her this week?
Actually, no, unfortunately not.
Right.
How's she doing?
To be honest, no, she was quite funny, and like when she laughs, I just picture her laughing like on your show. Exactly.
I'll have to get a new laugh, because that's sounding quite rough, isn't it, really?
No, but that's exactly how she still does it. And,
excellent.
We love Carol, don't we?
Yeah, she's looking great these days, don't you think?
Have you... Oh, man alive, for her age, absolutely.
Oh, that's a slap in the face. For her age? What kind of a thing is that to say?
No, absolutely not at all, Nick. No, she looks fantastic. She absolutely does.
She looks like she's got a bit of money now, because before she always looked like, I don't know, she'd been, she looked like she just got up.
We all remember the picture of her walking the dog, don't we?
Yes. Yes. You know, some people look better when they get older, and I think she's, and some people look better when they get more money, and I think that she's got money now. She's got TV money. See, none of this radio money, television money she's got now.
Well, I do remember when, like, you guys used to do a show together, like, in the olden days.
Yeah, it was on this not this building, but this station, under this name, yeah.
And, she was always trying to, like, break into TV, and she used to stand in for someone on a chat show every now and again.
And now she's made it. Everyone's thrilled.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be great if you guys got back together again? Like, in not a non-romantic way,
yeah, back together again.
Yeah.
Everybody. Yes, I would thoroughly enjoy that, and I know she would too, because I was speaking to her just the other day. I managed to get an audience for a couple of minutes.
Well, that's exactly what I was about to ask you. Have you actually seen her lately at all?
Seen her lately? No, but she's coming to my barbecue. I hope she's going to remember. She's,
Can I come?
Yeah, absolutely not.
Yeah, right, whatever. But anyway, have you heard Roger Waters' new album?
Roger Waters' new album? No, I have
Was
not.
it Dave Gilmour?
Dave Gilmour's new album, yes.
Sorry, I get confused.
Yeah.
Very easy.
It's okay. It's fine. It's fine.
I've not heard it, so...
It's very chilled and very relaxed, and there's a couple of really good tracks, and the rest of it just sort of washes over you, and it's okay. It's fine.
Sure. So, do you reckon you might speak to Carol and...
That had nothing to do with that was just a little insert, wasn't it? A little Pink Floyd insert into the conversation about me and Carol. Yeah, it's not down to me. I'd say it right now, I would love to do a show with Carol. Absolutely.
Okay, I'll tell you what, I'll call Carol up next time she's
you do that.
She's only standing in this week, so... I will call her up next time she's...
Oh, call her on the station. Oh, I thought you were trying to pretend to me that you had her number.
Oh.
Have you got a pen and paper? It's 0208.
Yeah, as if. Please don't give it to me, I might even do it. You know.
Yeah, I know I won't. I'm not crazy.
No.
All right, listen, thanks a lot, Steve.
You're welcome, Nick.
I'll
Take
consider
care.
it. Cheers, mate. Ta-ra.
Cheers, mate. Bye.
This is LBC. I'm Nick Abbott. And where are we now? 22:45 out to ads. So let's go with Bromley. Oh, Chris.
Hi. Hello.
Hello, Chris.
I was listening to Mandy, and I thought, that's me on the radio there talking. I was absolutely gutted with the football as well.
Why does it always, when your team loses, it has to be gutted?
Can't see that. Oh, sad.
I mean, if you think about it, if you gut someone, that's really quite horrific, isn't it?
I suppose so. But I was just saying to her that, she felt like that as well, and I felt like that. In fact, I cried at the end of the 90 minutes.
Did you?
Through sheer frustration.
You cried at the end of 90 minutes?
Exhausted, jumping up and down and shouting, because I said it's the first time I've been down to a pub and watched it.
Yeah.
And the atmosphere was absolutely electric.
I found myself leaving my seat on many occasions. And
I lost my seat and nearly never found it when I sat down again. I had this group of sort of youngsters next to me, and I thought, oh my goodness, there's going to be, a bit of a problem maybe here. But no, they were holding my hands and grabbing the flag, and we were jumping around.
Are you sure you weren't on the Gay Pride March?
No, pity it was on the same day. I'd like to have gone on both of them.
Well, they could have twinned it, couldn't they? They could have put screens up wherever it was they were going. Where were they going?
I don't know. Don't listen to that bit. I was more interested in waiting for 4 o'clock. 8 o'clock this morning, I wasn't trying to decide what to do until we got to 4 o'clock this afternoon.
It would have been a perfect time to go out and do anything, really, because if the roads were still empty at 9:30, then it would have been like the neutron bomb. Well, what's that bomb that they drop that doesn't touch buildings, it only kills people? Is it a neutron bomb, or is that science fiction? Am I completely making this up?
Yeah.
So, the Americans are working on it, they'll come up with it.
Yeah, what I was actually saying was that because it's now over and everybody was...
No, Chris, don't say that. We could still make it.
Not this year, we can't.
If we pulled together and tried really hard, what do you reckon? No?
Make it to the next... We're out of it now, aren't we?
Oh, I suppose so.
Yeah. What I was saying was it was just lovely seeing everybody with flags in the windows and...
Yeah, we'll be taking all of those down now. They all look a bit sad now, don't they?
Yeah, but, if we'd have won today, then they would have still been up and the atmosphere would have just been there.
Now, am I alone in wanting Germany to win the other day when they played Argentina? Like, I really wanted Germany to win. Does that make me crazy?
Well...
I guess they were playing Argentina as a nation. We would have wanted, them all to get sent off. All of them.
Well, I was going to watch the Brazil one tonight, but as Mandy said as well, I just about had enough of football today. By the time I watched the 15, the second 30 minutes, and then the...
All 4 halves.
I could just about put my scarf on.
Yeah, I was going to watch it as well because, I was going to try and get through the show without knowing the result, but Mandy spoiled that for me. Thanks a lot, Mandy.
I just say that.
Appreciate it.
It just feels that, right, what can we sort of celebrate next where everybody gets together and that, well, football fans all get together and...
We could celebrate that Prince Charles doesn't pay much tax. How's that?
Or what Harry's going to get up to next. That's what I was reading in...
Did you read Lorraine Kelly in The Sun today?
No, I didn't get as far as that. No.
Hello.
No,
I thought Lorraine was such a nice lady.
I only got Lorraine Kelly? Oh, yeah, she's a nice lady.
She is a nice lady, but I guess if you've got a column for The Sun, you have to become,
Yeah, a little bit different.
A little bit different, yeah, all right, we'll leave it at that, shall we?
I buy The Sun for the TV guide, usually.
You buy The Sun for the TV guide?
Yeah.
Why don't you buy a TV guide? Then you don't have to look at all those bosoms.
No, No, because then you can read the paper and get you free TV guides as well.
Well, that's a good way of thinking about it. Or you could buy the TV guide and have free bosoms.
No, thank you. Anyway, well, that's what I was saying. It just feels now that
Gutted.
everything's just gone down.
Yeah.
And
You're in a funk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to the next one.
Well, try this for me, Chris.
Yeah.
Just put a just fashion your mouth into a smile. I know it might sound silly, but...
I'm smiling now.
Oh, you are smiling?
Yeah.
And don't you feel better?
Yeah, because I'm going to Herne Bay for the day tomorrow.
Herne Bay?
Seaside.
Oh, the seaside. Oh, it'll be lovely.
Yes.
Lovely down the seaside.
Yeah, well, it would be better than doing nothing.
Better than, better than being on Oxford Street. Yeah.
Cooler
Which
as
is where
well,
I'll be.
obviously.
OK, well, good luck with that, Chris.
Thanks a lot.
Ta-ta.
Bye.
Oh, she does like to be beside the seaside.
So you're saying we don't get our gas and electricity from London Energy anymore?
No, dear, we're with EDF Energy.
I thought you loved London Energy. You go on about them often.
So we're desperately trying to pull ourselves out of this, funk. Is that an Americanism, or do British people say that? I keep coming out with Americanisms all the time, nor has any idea what I'm talking about. Do you know what I'm talking about, Will?
Funk.
Funk.
What about funk? So
Funk. We're in a funk.
Are we?
Yeah. Aren't we? Aren't you depressed? A little bit sad. Down. Deflated. You know, a funk.
Well, no, I mean, didn't everyone sort of, like, in the back of their heads or their hearts know that England weren't going to make it?
Yeah. You're right. Yeah. We knew we weren't going to make it.
I mean, you look
because we're losers.
Well, no, I mean, the comment you made before, Nick, that England just aren't good enough, you know what I mean?
No, they weren't.
No,
but we, we hoped that they just because they stumbled through every round, and then they just couldn't, it was as though they tripped over something as a team, and were stumbling forwards, and they just fell flat on their face today.
Yeah.
They couldn't have fallen flat on their face on Sunday, at least. No.
Oh, well, it's not the end of the world. Why did Wayne Rooney get sent off?
Because he's a dope.
What did he do?
Well, I don't know why. Was he sent off because he stamped on the man's privates, or was he sent off because he pushed, was it Ronaldo that he pushed?
Ronaldo.
Yeah,
or was he sent off because Ronaldo asked him to be sent off?
Well, yeah, there's a lot of that going on, but, because I don't think the ref was going to actually, because he hadn't, the ref was standing there looking at the guy gripping his parts on the ground, and Rooney was standing, and it didn't look like he was gone, he went for his card, but as soon as he, and it was the smallest of pushes, really, wasn't it? I mean, the guy didn't fall
It's kind
over.
of pathetic.
Yeah, he wasn't poleaxed or anything, and he was his own teammate. He knows this guy really well. Let's assume they're friends.
Apparently they're not.
Well, all right. Well, they're compatriots. You know, they're pulling for the same team most of the year. And so he just pushed him, and that was it to get him sent off. I mean, that's crazy.
So he got Rooney sent off, and he scored the penalty that knocked England out of the World Cup?
Yes.
He's not going to be a very popular bunny when he gets back to Man United.
Not very popular at all, I wouldn't think. No. He's not going to be able to go out, really, is he? All those shopping trips will be verboten from now on, or whatever the Portuguese for forbidden is.
I think he's best if he moves abroad in the mid-season and finds another team somewhere.
Well, isn't he? He's out of favour with Man U anyway. Hasn't he asked for a transfer?
Doesn't he want to go and play for Real Madrid? I think that's what he wants to do, is go and play for Real Madrid.
Good, let's get rid of him.
But there's lots of other things England can win. I mean, there's the Ashes at the end of the year. We can win that again.
Oh, who cares? Cricket? No one cares about cricket. And I tell you how I know this to be true. The entire nation was supposedly interested in cricket the last time we played, who was it, Australia? I just am not interested, so I just barely pay attention. And all around me, people were going in a frenzy because we'd actually won something at cricket. And I'm thinking, this is all totally fake. None of these people who are going on and on about this are remotely interested in cricket. It's just because we've won something.
It's like when we won the rugby.
It really doesn't, Nick. It's nice to see people like, you know, they got this tall poppy syndrome in England. They can't stand people succeeding at things, and it's nice to see people, you know, when we won the Rugby World Cup, everyone was rugby mad. It's nice to see people getting behind people and supporting for winning something instead of, like, slagging them off as soon as they actually go and win something. You know what I mean?
Well, yes and no. Yes, it's nice to support our boys, but not if you're just a fair weather fan.
It's better than nothing, Nick, isn't it?
Well, no, I'm not sure that it's better than nothing. I think you should be true to yourself and true to, you know, what you believe in. If you're a fan of rugby, then you should be a fan when they lose. Ditto cricket. But, you know, you go to, you turn on, I wouldn't ever go to one. Well, why spoil a good drink by sitting in front of cricket all day? But if you turn one on the TV, And it can be a really important match. Well, it'll have to be televised, and and there's a lull in play, for about an hour, where they just like stand around and look at each other. I've got no idea what they're doing, but they pan up for a little bit of audience excitement and look at the crowd, and there isn't one. There's no one there. No one cares about cricket, so don't talk to me about the Ashes or whatever it was you were going to say.
No, you're right. No, I know cricket's a funny game, isn't it? It's like that. You ever seen that film The Beach? There's one character in there who's obsessed with cricket. When they go back to the mainland, he says, "Get me a copy of the Telegraph so I can find out where the cricket scores are." And then one day they're having a game of cricket on the beach, and he sets everyone out, like all 11 people. He says, "Right, everyone's ready. Does anyone not understand what's going on?" And slowly every single one of them puts their hand up like that.
The Beach with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah. Haven't you seen it?
I have. I remember nothing about it, other than the furore when they dug up... Where was it? Thailand. Didn't they dig up Thailand?
Yeah, Phuket Beach in Thailand.
Yeah, and completely ruin it for the locals. They shipped in sand because it was the wrong colour or something like that. Hollywood people came in and said, "Excuse me, we're filming here," to rip up the beach and concrete it over. Yes.
Oh, it's a good movie.
Yeah, it was all right. Like I said, I remember nothing about it.
The guy who wrote the book, no one's ever heard a word from him since, has he? He sort of went into sort of like a J.D. Salinger sort of thing, didn't he? He's written one brilliant book that, became a massive world bestseller, and now he's become sort of like a recluse.
I don't know. Like everybody else in the country, I don't read books.
God, that's a terrible thing to say, though.
Well, it's true, though. I can't believe that so many bookshops still exist. No one reads books, isn't that right?
Well, you work in the media. You should read books, shouldn't you?
Well, I'm too busy reading papers. There's so much inconsequential fluff in my brain. I've got no room for something more self-improving. But anyway, Will, that's not why you called. But thanks a lot. All right.
Ta-da.
Ta-da. This is LBC 97.3. I guess we should maybe call a moratorium on the football after the news at 11. Because otherwise it could just go and go. Or maybe we should just go and go. We've got it in us.
Shirley.
Haven't we, Shirley? It's in us and it must come out.
Hello?
Hello, Shirley.
Hello. Why does that guy start talking about football and then went rabbiting on about cricket?
Why? It just occurred to him.
I don't know, but I want to say something about the football. As far as I'm concerned about the whole football thing, the whole problem we had was Sven-Göran Eriksson. Every single player on there was moved around right, left and centre from where they were playing originally. He didn't take out the right strikers. You hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can, yeah.
I don't know whether you can hear me.
No, I can, yeah.
Right. He didn't take out the right players, and as soon as anybody got sick and got sent off, or got injured or got sent off, we had nobody to run in for them.
Yeah, you know what, Shirley? Everyone's an expert manager, but when it comes down to...
I know everyone's an expert manager.
Hang on a minute. But when it comes down to it, it's the players on the pitch. It's not
they were absolutely brilliant. After Rooney got sent off, they were brilliant.
I know, for the first time in the tournament. Too late.
Right, okay.
And actually, they weren't brilliant. They just didn't suck anymore. They weren't brilliant. They didn't test that. They didn't test the goalkeeper. And
why? Because why were they? Why? What positions were they put in?
Well, Frank Lampard tests goalkeepers for a living.
Lampard was absolutely rubbish. Lampard should never have been on there in the first place. He missed every single chance.
Am I right? Is Frank Lampard carrying a little weight? He looks a bit fat.
Well, Lampard was just absolutely useless.
Wow.
Absolutely, because he just, every single time he got a shot at goal, he just hit it over the goal. He just never went anywhere near it. And why was Wayne Rooney on his own right up the front? He was just on his own. He just kept running and running and running. He's just come back from being off sick. And he was just on his own. He had nobody around him whatsoever.
Yeah, well, they were all rubbish. But it's not that... Yeah, they were all rubbish.
No, they weren't all rubbish.
All rubbish.
Lennon was fantastic.
Lennon?
Yeah.
Well, he was on for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Why? Why was it on for 2 minutes? Why was it on for 2 minutes? Because the manager was rubbish and didn't put the right people on.
Surely, you're really taking this hard.
I know I am. If you'd been here with me this afternoon, I'll tell you what, you wouldn't have wanted to be with me this afternoon.
I didn't want to be with you this afternoon, then or now.
You wouldn't want to be with me this afternoon.
I'm telling you I wouldn't.
No. But, I'm so glad he's going, because he's been absolutely awful for our...
Oh, yeah, his right-hand man, he's going to really make a difference, isn't he?
What, new guy?
Yeah.
Not really.
Not really, no. No. Because you know why? It's the players on the pitch. If the manager sits there and he'll put them in the positions that they more or less ordinarily play in, and then if they don't do the business, it's not the manager's fault, it's the players' fault.
No, but at least he sat there and he's written down, he's sitting down there writing what they're doing.
Oh, great.
What they're doing.
Yeah, that'll make a difference. He's writing it down. Excellent. You know, on paper, we're a tremendous team. On grass, we suck.
Yeah, right, okay. I will say that. I will agree with that, but I think we've got some really, really good players, and I just think we've all been put...
We do, yes. But they can't play with each other. Or when they put on an England shirt, they just, I don't know, they morph into...
Yeah,
I don't know what they morph into.
You tell me, right, the other countries get to play with each other a lot more than ours do.
I bet. And here we are on the Gay Pride Parade again. They do what now?
Other countries,
yes.
right, for instance...
Get to
play with each other more often.
Huh.
Also, a lot of the European countries don't play football for as long as we do. And don't tell me that's not true, because I know it's true.
They, right. Well, European players play with each other.
Stephen
You know,
Gerrard's
it's
played
a
for 12
European
months. Stephen
thing.
Gerrard's just played for 12 months non-stop.
Yeah,
From one team or another.
yeah, that's right.
Right? So I'm not being stupid, I know what I'm talking about. A lot of the European countries have breaks.
Yeah.
Right, and we don't necessarily, because if we're in different teams, we don't have breaks. So some of our players play for months and months on end.
I know, poor dears, and they only get £10 million a year for doing it.
I know. Oh, God Almighty, would I like to have that? I'd love it.
I hope that they didn't actually keep any. The money that they got for playing for England, they're giving to. Somebody told me they're giving it to charity, right? I certainly hope they don't keep it.
I believe that. I believe that.
That'd be awful, wouldn't it?
Charity of the wags.
We want our money back. But anyway, Shirley, look, you're really worked up. Tomorrow you'll feel better.
So worked up, and
do you feel a lot of tension in your shoulders?
What?
A lot of tension in your shoulders?
The whole street's screaming up and down this road, and it's just doing my head in.
God.
Cut the flag down, and it's just doing my head in.
In Colston, eh?
Yeah.
Huh. There's a place to steer clear of. Where is it?
It's for a couple of days.
Yeah, a couple of days. Where is Colston? I've got no idea.
It's about 4 miles from Croydon.
Croydon. Oh, well, I'll skirt round.
Oh,
thanks for the tip, Shirley.
Thank you so much for talking to you.
All right, ta-da.
Bye.
What a nice lady. Stressed, but nice.
It was...
We don't want to talk about football all night, do we? I'm happy to talk about football because the entire nation has got they want to vent their rage at something. We'll all feel better tomorrow, and we'll all shrug our shoulders and think, well, you know what? We'll all feel better in 8 days when there is no football on for 2 days until the new season starts. There's something to look forward to. So I can't wait to see the reception that Ronaldo gets when he steps on the field for Manchester United again. If, in fact, he does it again, he'll probably be off to Italy to ply his trade over there, and, good riddance. But, yeah, and we could talk about football all night long. If that's what you want, it's more your show, ladies and gentlemen, than it is mine, then we will. But I'd be more than happy to take calls on anything else. Hey, Bill.
Yep.
Sid Cup.
No, I think it's wrong, though, that, the referee, he's Argentinian. He will go against England at the end of the day, won't he?
No, they're supposed to be impartial.
You say that, though, but he's Argentinian.
Yeah, but he's also impartial.
But he will go against England, won't
Well, okay, what, apart from the dubious Wayne Rooney thing, well, I mean, it's not dubious, they've got their orders. Anybody who puts a hand up on someone, if anyone lays their hand on, like Bon Jovi, if you lay your hands on me, you get sent off.
Well, even with the penalty, he made him take it again.
Yeah, because he wasn't ready.
Yeah, I know, but it was the other way round. He probably would have let it go.
You're being very unreasonable, Bill. Just because he's Argentinian doesn't make him a bad person.
No, I'm not saying that, but you know what they're like with England. Well, any referee with England's I find.
I think that the amount of cards that they've been giving out in this World Cup is just insane. But first of all, it's insane that they give them out for so many silly little things. And second, I think it's properly wrong that that 2 yellow cards will get you excluded from the following game. I mean, that's just really not right. Why? Well, I mean, FIFA seem to be as obsessed with carding players as this government is about fining us. They're just carding people out of the game. It's just that's not what people pay £2,000 a seat to see.
Yeah,
10 players playing 11, or 8 playing 9, and half of the team not being able to show up for the next match. It's just wrong. That's not what it's all about. I mean, why should 2 cards carry over to the next game?
And fall over.
Like being sent off isn't punishment enough. Somebody said in one of the games the other day that they should have like a sin bin, like they do for ice hockey. If it's not that bad, you should just go and sit out the game for 10 minutes. Sounds like an excellent idea. But Seb Blatter wouldn't like that. Oh, no, he didn't come up with it. What does Seb Blatter know about football, by the way? Anything? That great lump? Huh?
Say that again?
Oh, no, I was just... I'm venting like everybody else now, Bill. I'm being completely unreasonable. Are you gutted?
Yeah.
Sick as a parrot?
Yeah.
Deflated?
Yeah.
Blue?
Yep.
Down?
Yep.
Distraught?
Well, yeah, I just hope France do it now.
Do you? Hey, Bill, can I ask you a question?
Yeah?
Are you in a funk?
Hello?
So, Andy Murray won his game at Wimbledon. Isn't that great?
No.
Because no one cares. No one cares about tennis anymore because there's no personalities in it anymore. Am I right? Hello?
I bet they care in Scotland.
I bet they don't.
I bet they do.
No, people don't play tennis in Scotland because it's raining all the time. That's actually true, that is.
That's why he had to go to Spain to...
He had to go, yeah, exactly right, because the rain in Spain falls mainly in Glasgow. Yeah.
All of it.
Mm-hmm. Tennis. I haven't been interested in tennis since Jimmy Connors stopped playing.
I have to say I was quite glad that Henman got knocked out.
Why?
It just saved any kind of people getting, oh, he might win this year, oh...
Hey, Lucy, by the way, is off today. And so, Gary, she hasn't had a sex change. That's actually a completely different person sitting over there. But she will be back tomorrow, as indeed will I, between 3 and half 6, sitting in for Ian. And Lucy will be here, and I will quiz her on the Sunday Times, in-out list to check whether she's an actual proper girl or not. Are you a girl, Louise?
Yeah. Oh, thanks. How are you?
I'm feeling better now, I suppose.
Good. Football is so rubbish. Why do people that wouldn't usually like it watch it and pretend to like it?
Well, I think in times like this, we sort of, it's almost like being in a war. And you have to get behind our boys, as the Sun would put it.
Well, I've never been interested in it. I've never watched it. I hate it.
Not even remotely?
No, I hate it. I think it's because I don't understand it.
You don't understand it? Oh, come on, Louise. Which part don't you understand?
Well, like the stupid offside rule.
Well, you don't need to understand the offside rule. No one does. Not even the referees understand the offside rule. Just forget about that part. Everything else is simple. They kick, they score, unless they're in an England shirt.
Yeah.
In which case they blast it over the top of the crossbar.
Not the Star Wars in it.
So South Yorkshire, that's where you're from, right?
Yeah.
It must have been awash with flags, yes?
Yes. Oh, there's nothing... I like seeing the flags out. I think it's nice.
Yeah, me too. I do, yeah. I mean, do you think of Nazis when you see the English flag?
No.
No.
I think of England. It's like... I like the St George's Cross better than the Union Jack because, to me, St George's Cross is England and the Union Jack's Britain, isn't it?
Yeah, plus it's more precise. I mean, the Union flag is a bit busy,
yeah.
Don't you think?
Full of everything.
Yeah, exactly. It's a bit of a mess. So, it's the England flag is stripped down. The St George's Cross, it's clean. Mm-hmm. And you don't think of, like I said, you don't think of right-wing loonies when I was going to say pathetic. Well, all right, I'll go with that. What a pathetic country that just cedes its flag to right-wing loonies and say, oh, you can't put the St George's Cross on anything because you'll look like a Nazi. I mean, we should take it back. It's our flag. I mean, that's just daft, don't you think?
Yeah. It's like the stupid people that say, oh, you can't wear crosses because that offends people from other religions. I'm sure they don't mind. Do you know what I mean? I'm sure they don't care. Stupid.
You can't wear crosses. Well, why would you want to wear a cross if it wasn't a religious...
Like a Christian cross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you weren't doing it for religious reasons, why would you... Unless you were Madonna, you'd be strapped to it by leather.
But
Yeah.
what I'm saying is I don't think anyone's really bothered. It's just what they're thinking. They're just trying to please everyone, aren't they?
Yeah, that's right. Most religious people are really easygoing. Yeah. Have you read the papers, Louise?
No.
No. So how are you going to get through the next month until the season starts again? You're just going to completely ignore it, right?
Yeah.
So what have you been up to then, Louise? Well, how have you been ignoring the footy? What have you been doing?
I've been listening to LBC.
Yeah.
And I've took the dog out for a walk because I got a dog on Monday.
A dog? You got a dog on Monday? Oops. That was a complete accident. I didn't mean to do that. You got a dog. What possessed you to do that?
My mum wanted one, and I didn't want one, but she's lovely now. And I'm not cleaning up after her still, Mum, if you're listening.
So you live with your mum?
Yeah, I'm only 18, so I still live with my mum.
Right, well, you should have left house at least 3 years ago. As you know, yes.
It's all my uncle.
So when do you plan on leaving?
When I get money.
No time soon, right.
I'm at university for a bit of that.
Yeah, right. Here's a tip, Louise. Are you at university?
No, I'm going in September.
Okay, now, you're in South Yorkshire. Which university have you picked?
The Barnsley one. My first 2 years here. My last
Barnsley. And how far away is that from where you are now?
It's only in town centre. I can walk.
You can walk there. Okay, then you picked the wrong university. Do you want to know why?
Why?
It's too near home. Are you going to be staying at home when you're at university?
Yeah.
You're not going to be on campus?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Why even go? What's the point of going to university if you're going to be staying at home with your mum?
Yeah, but it's expensive if you move out.
You're going to be coming home at all times of the night, out of it, throwing up in the garden before you put the key in the lock, and your mum's going to be sitting there.
Yeah, and the dog will...
Waiting for... And the dog will have left her present because you didn't walk it. Yeah. No, Louis. Okay, anybody else that's listening to this who's thinking of applying to a university, here's a tip. Go to a university that's approximately 50 to 100 miles away, because it's too far to live at home, so no amount of pleading by the parents will make any sense. You'll have to leave home, but it's near enough to go home and get your washing done. To go home and screw some money out of them, and to just get some proper food down you.
That's a bit cheeky, isn't it?
No, it's just true. You don't want to go to a university that's in, another country, because then you're all on your own, from having everything done for you to be completely adrift. So you want to have a little a tether attached to home, but you want to be far enough away so that there's no danger of your mum showing up. You know?
Yeah. Well, they wanted me to move out, and then they're all right.
Oh, now we're getting to it. They wanted you to move out.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound so great. Now, why do they want you to move out?
Because you ain't seen you to be starting your own life and stuff like that, but they're all right about it now. For some reason, I don't know why.
They've just given up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all right about it.
I pay them £20 a week. But,
what? £20 a week?
Yeah, that's what they asked me. So that's what they get.
Well, they asked for £20. They hoped that you would chip in a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
I mean, how much food do you suck up? More than 20 quid, I bet.
£20.
Yeah.
And I help around the house and stuff like that. So
you help? She helps around the house. Okay, this will be great. Doing what?
I hoover up and I
hoover.
Yeah. And
how many times a day? Once every fortnight. Yeah. Once a week is not good enough for a mother. Mothers want it done every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're a shower, Louise.
Oh, what?
A shower.
Shower?
It's an old English phrase often used by Terry Thomas. It means, it means you're a shower. Look it up on the internet.
I will.
It's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. Well, it's a bad-good thing. It's not a good-bad thing, but, you're good-bad, but you're not evil. How's that?
That sounds good, actually.
All right. Well, the best of luck with the rest of your summer.
Oh, I'll be listening on Monday, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's only a couple of days away. Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah.
All right. Well, give us a call then and tell us how you're feeling. All right.
I will do.
Ta-ta.
Bye.
Oh, I never got to ask her what kind of dog it was. I bet it was a yappy one. That's okay. They leave small parcels.
Best Deli. Abbott.
So on the front page of the Sun, it was "Your country needs Roo," and there he is, smiling and pointing at us. And now we're all grimacing and pointing at him. I wonder if he is going to go through that same thing that David Beckham went through. He's going to be, getting abuse. Yeah, but people are less likely to abuse him though, because he looks like he would kill you, whereas David Beckham looks like he would just ruffle your hair. Not share his makeup tips with us. But Wayne Rooney, he might actually, attack. So people would be a little less, forward about being negative towards, to his face anyway. Inside page, England's stars have been branded scared girls in Portugal's press. In an article entitled "What the English Are Asking For," our manager Sven-Göran Eriksson is described as hated. It says the English are jealous because they were unable to prize away Portugal coach Luís Felipe Scolari, who turned down the chance to be the next England manager. The story says the English adore Scolari, but they cannot stand Eriksson and hate him no end. Is that true? We adore Scolari. We don't really know anything about him. He's the fat bloke who waves his arms around on the sidelines. Apart from that, we've got no clue. He led Brazil to victory, but like Gary Lineker said, his aunt could have led Brazil to victory. It didn't require any great input on his part. You just put Brazil on the field, and but you know what? They didn't. They got knocked out by France tonight, which was a game that I was going to watch tomorrow if I had managed to get through the night without knowing it. But fortunately, almost our first caller ruined it for me. Thanks a lot, Mandy, or whoever it was.
It was a good game, though, so you maybe...
Yeah, cheers, mate. Mate, I'll just watch it anyway.
Yeah.
I hate knowing what's going to come up. I'm kind of like that with everything. I never read reviews of films because they always tell you what's going to happen in the end. When I go to the cinema, I must look bizarre because during the ads for forthcoming attractions, I've always got my fingers in my ears and I'm humming to myself because the fingers in the ears don't quite do it. They don't drown out all noise. So I'm staring at the floor, humming to myself with my fingers in my ears. That must just look demented.
Do people move seats away from you?
No, well, you're stuck.
It's a good way to get some space, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, because the amount of and I do that because the amount of trailers to films where they show the last scene, because it's normally the most exciting, right? The denouement where Tom Cruise doesn't die. And they'll show it to you right there. There it is. And so what's the point in seeing a movie now? I know what's going to happen. Fools. And they do that on TV as well.
And right after the end of a programme.
Huh?
Right after the programme that you're watching, they show the trailer for the next one.
Yes, that particularly irritates me. But before the programme that you're going to watch, they'll say, and in the next programme, there's a surprise guest appearance from... And now it's not a surprise anymore. Idiots. The people who do the bit in between TV programmes, I think I'd like to shoot all of them. Is that an unreasonable thing to say? I would actually like death to most of them. Some of them are way worse than others. Some of them will just do and now here's Frasier, or whatever. Here's 24. But others, they seem to think that we're interested in what they got to say, like it's an act. And the worst of all time has got to be the guy that's on Paramount right now. He sounds like he's auditioning to be a personality talk show host. In between, he does comedy bits in between programmes. And you think, the hell are you doing, man? Just tell us the channel that we're on and what's coming up next. That's all. I think they should get rid of them all, because we can see what's coming up next in the TV guides. They're just a blight. But the absolute flat-out worst thing they do is you'll be watching a film, and the makers of the film have spent £100 million on getting you to the end of the film in a certain frame of mind, either sad or elated or thoughtful or in a funk. And then the music will come on to underline that mood, and then you bring yourself out, because you've invested large amounts of yourself into this film, right? And then the music will take you through and then bring you out slowly, almost like you've been in some sort of meditative trance. But on the TV, the second that the movie finishes, some Burke sparks up with, "Hey, coming up next on Channel 4. And you just watched, half the cast just died in a horrific yachting accident. And and suddenly you've got some Burke shouting at you. It's just wrong. How can they not see that that's completely wrong? They totally ruin £100 million worth of movie that you've just invested 2 hours of your life in. And you just get yanked out of it like you've been slapped in the face with a wet fish. Somebody's got to do something about that. Am I right?
You're right.
Always. Sometimes I get tired of being so right. Here's Rob in the Rhondda.
Hey, babe.
What's up?
Hey, I think they should bring back in-vision continuity announcers. Remember them?
Well, at least they would... If the camera's on them, at least they would behave a bit more and not do an act.
Isn't the job of the continuity announcer, that's actually the person who's running the programmes for the evening, isn't it? That they put on What's Next and all that. Is it them and a couple of others?
No, I can't believe that's... Does anybody know this? I would think it would all be done by computer. I mean, I'm sure that somebody isn't picking programmes off the shelf and sticking them in the machine. It must be computer-driven, surely.
I don't know. I've seen these booths. I mean, it's really small little booths they get.
Yeah.
Little buttons they have to
That's right.
The ones in Wales are quite happy and cheerful.
And most of them aren't live, surely. Most of them do pre-record it. And
BBC are live, I think.
Are they?
Rest of them. Well, ITV got rid of, sacked all their regional ones.
Good.
And, anyway, that's not very geeky now. Anyway, first of all, can I say, following last week, that I'm not lost a screw in my head or anything. I'm completely sane, and I thought you'd gone.
You have a very short fuse.
I don't.
Let's not go back over what happened last week, but you do. You want to be a talk show host? I don't think you've got the patience for it. You fly off the handle. You're worse than I am.
You like ending on a funny comment, and he went very silent. I thought I was talking to myself. I thought, oh my God.
And you tutted and slammed the phone down.
I almost swore.
See?
Yeah, well, that's no.
Has anybody told you that before, that you're very, intemperate?
Well, I can be.
Not intemperate, is that the right word? You're very temperamental?
Yeah, well...
Hot-headed?
Yeah. Oh, I'm still really a teenager. Although I'm 21.
Well, here's the news, mate. I'm still really a teenager, and I'm nearer 50 than 30. It doesn't... it never leaves you. And you've reached the age that you're at, and you think, good grief, how on earth did that happen?
Well, I'm on edge when I speak to you.
On edge?
Yeah.
Calm down, mate. OK, here's a tip. Push your shoulders down.
Yeah.
Take a deep breath in. And hold it. And out.
Thank you.
Better?
A lot better.
Now, what's up, Rob?
I've had my degree results.
He's had his degree results. Right, what degree are you doing again?
But before I say, I should advise that girl who's going to university that your advice was correct.
Correct, yeah.
Don't go too far. About 50 miles is ideal.
It is. Because you don't want to be catching one of those coaches from one end of the country to the next every time you want to go home to mum.
And you'll soon find out when you go to university that you'll consider university home rather than home.
Exactly. And all of your mates, because if you're living at home, you need to be home at a certain time. On leaving the house in the morning, mum will say, "Oh, dinner at 7, dear. Don't be late." Well, that'll be the implication. Come home, don't get drunk and don't take drugs, will be the unspoken implication. And so, but all your mates will be, partying, because that's what university is all about. This precious little learning goes on, and most of it's socialing. Socialing. You don't learn English there, but you social a lot. Yeah, that's right, more or less.
I got a house party coming up soon. Should be fun.
You do what, sorry?
I'm going to a house party next week.
A house party?
Yeah. 21st for a girl, I know.
Now, I'm guessing that they're at the end of their rental agreement.
Yes, actually.
Yes, see? And you're going to trash the place, aren't you?
I won't. I might have a few. And
I think she's probably given up on ever getting her deposit back.
She's becoming a very responsible sabbatical.
Yeah, right. She's going to be leaving the country the day after, and she just doesn't care anymore.
Oh, there we are. My degree is in politics.
In politics, right. Now, of course, degrees these days aren't worth the paper they're written on, because talk about dumbing down, it's just incredible.
Excuse me?
Anybody that just shows up and writes their name passes.
Didn't you do psychology?
Yeah.
That was a joke then.
Absolutely, yes. But at least in my day, when I was a lad, at least it was relatively difficult compared to now. So, with that knowledge, what did you get?
I got a 2-1.
A 2-1! Of course, you would barely have passed in my day with a 2-1.
No, I'd have been thrashed and imprisoned by the age of 23, I'm sure.
In prison? Well,
Yeah.
because of your
Accent.
Yeah.
Been arrested. That's another I'm just thinking about. That's another momentous thing I've said on the air to you. My first driving lesson, when I passed my driving lesson, when I go to university. Another one.
I remember when I passed my driving test, passed it first time, and I didn't know how I did. And you know, you pull the car to a halt, and there's this. It seemed like a cavernous pause, a pause that you could have driven a bus through. And then he said, "You've passed," and suddenly the confines of the car weren't big enough for me. I wanted to leap and jump and scream, and I would have paused at actually hugging the examiner. But you know, apart from that, I was over the moon, Brian. Oh, we're back with the football now.
I had a bit of a problem when I was doing my test. That behind me, and unbeknownst to me, till I looked in the mirror, my so-called friends from school were behind me, beeping the horn, sticking their fingers out and going, "Rah!"
Really?
Yes.
What a nightmare. Well, there you are. You see, you get the friends you deserve.
I don't like them now. I've never spoken to them since.
Quite right.
University friends, see. That's the way now.
And then I passed my test, and it took 20 years for me to get my first car. I've still got it. I've still got my first car.
What is it?
Isn't that pathetic? It's a black one. That's all I'm telling you.
Oh, it's expensive, is it?
No.
Oh.
Not anymore.
Fair enough. While I'm thinking about it...
Yes.
If I go on to my next little quick bit...
Oh, there's more?
I'm always entertaining.
Well...
Chap. Have you ever been on the Nick Abbot forums?
The what now?
The Nick Abbot forum.
Forum?
Hmm.
Forum.
It's the forum where people talk about you and the show.
Oh,
Not the website.
Right.
.com, it's the forum.
What, when people talk about...
Well, you know...
What, while the show's going on?
No, that's a chat room. I mean, this goes on all the time. I mean, they could talk about anything, like...
I've looked at it. You know what? I looked at it, and I looked at another site as well, which has forums about the media. And I looked at it one, and I thought, this is a bad idea. Because not everybody likes you. Some people are bound, you know, in the general population. Some people are, even, you could be as fabulous as, insert name here. But someone is bound not to like you. And you can read 100 good things about yourself, which will all be cancelled out by one person writing something bad. And they could be, some bloke with swivel eyes and green teeth that you would cross the road to avoid. But it doesn't matter because it's written down. And the written word becomes virtually the word of God. And if this person doesn't like you, and, they might eat dog food, they might be just completely off their chump. It will just affect you for the rest of the day. So I peeked once and I thought, no, this is wrong. Don't do this. Walk away, I thought.
You should go on, say hello. They'll all be very happy.
Yeah, right.
You might get endless amounts of emails and things.
Yeah, I'll think about it.
Okay.
Oh, I've thought about it. No.
Are you on tomorrow, did you say?
Yes, but not here. And then Monday, here and there. And Tuesday here and there. And Wednesday everywhere, baby.
Are you not pre-recorded there?
No.
Oh, ooh, hard work.
Live.
Right, well, I'll save the rest of my topics for then.
Great.
Bill for a few bits.
All right, best of luck, Rob.
Bye-bye.
Ta-ta. Don't lose your rag too easily. All right. This is LBC. Where are we? 232905. I'll try and hit it. Oh, back to what I was saying. This is about the Portuguese coverage of our boys. I love the way that the Sun is just mortified that any other country is being rude about our players. How dare they? It's something that the Sun would never stoop to. The story in the Portuguese paper said, the English adore Scolari, but they cannot stand Ericsson and hate him no end. Well, that's not true. We just prefer that he would show an emotion every now and again, just like one. If we'd passed, if we'd continued to fluke our way through, he'd be called a genius. And his right-hand man, we'd have been holding our heads in our hand. Why, Sven, please don't go, we would have been saying. But we just couldn't fluke our way through that last game. I mean, if we got to the semi-final, it would have been virtually unheard of for us, right? We always seem to go out in the quarter-finals, always on penalties, which is just the luck of the draw. You might as well flip a coin. They want Big Phil, it says in the Portuguese paper, with the passion of a rancorous orphan. What's that mean? That's probably just really bad translation. Doesn't work in translation. A rancorous orphan who wants to change the stringy little mouse they adopted for a powerful roaring lion. What was that? 29. Oh, I've missed it, haven't I? 29:45 now. The piece accuses England stars of being terrified, consumptive girls and having little skill at football. Well, that's true. Another Portuguese newspaper ridiculed Victoria Beckham and suggested she's empty-headed. Victoria? Empty-headed? I think they've gone too far. We're not having that, are we?
3.
Continuing for just a little bit more, The Sun on the inside page today, on the inside front page today, says The Sun is the England squad's favourite paper. Every morning, 30 copies are rushed from Frankfurt Airport to the team's hotel in Baden-Baden. So great they named it twice. This number is twice as many as any other paper. Bea Bollen, 39, who... why do they always have to give the age? I mean, it's completely irrelevant. She runs a newsagent. The newsagent's called Schulmeister and Bollen. Who cares if she's 39 years old? I mean, otherwise we'll give her a chest size. My father drives the newspapers to the Bullerhoher Schloss Hotel. Oh, it's very good. And The Sun is the most popular by far, says Bea Bollen, 39. Maybe it's because the players want to see what their wags have been up to in town. No, it's probably because they can't read long sentences. They're working-class lads of little brain. It seems that you can always count on The Sun to know exactly what's happening with them. So, you know what? It was The Sun what lost it. That'll be their front page tomorrow. They'll take full responsibility, I don't doubt. BBC newsreader Natasha Kaplinsky last night accidentally announced that Germany were out of the World Cup. Is Natasha Kaplinsky the one that always looks like she's going to the opera? She's made up and dolled up way too heavily to be reading the news. Didn't she used to be the local London newsreader, and then she got bumped upstairs? Which must be, tremendous. Because I imagine one of the reasons why the London news and the national news often coincide is that London news don't talk to, it's rather the other way around. The national news people wouldn't lower themselves to talk to the local news people, which is why you'll get the national news telling you a story, and then they'll go to your local London news, and they'll tell you, and they've got exactly the same story because it just happened to occur in London. Unbeknownst to them, they've just been usurped by the national news, because they don't talk to each other, because it would be beneath them. So she got bumped upstairs, and she looks like... She looks always like she's ready to go for a night out, but she got called in at the last moment. Or she's having a soiree over at her place, and she didn't have time to take her earrings off, and she looks, let's do the news right here, like a Mickey Rooney movie. Natasha Kaplinsky last night accidentally announced that Germany were out of the World Cup. She said live from Gelsenkirchen at 6:06 p.m. The big news is that Germany are out of the World Cup. Seconds later, she confessed, no, I'm sorry, that's not the news at all. It's a nail-biting quarter-final between Argentina and Germany, and they've got to get through extra time. Yeah, it's not over till the fathead blows his whistle, dear. We'll give her a seminar. She'll catch up. Oh, Philip.
Good evening, Nick.
What's up?
Well, I'd like the answer to a question, whether I don't know whether you know the answer or whether the listeners do. What is the name of the perfume that you get in phone boxes?
The perfume?
Yes. I use the internet in phone boxes. You get you get 15 minutes for £1.
Do you?
Yep.
Why?
And you can also send an email for 20p. Well,
are you a terrorist?
Yeah, well, the thing is, I haven't got a computer at the moment, so I find it pretty useful.
Right.
Well, after you've been in here about 5 minutes, you get... And in the top left-hand corner of the phone box, there's a little box. And it emits this smell. I don't know if it's a perfume or what it is.
Are you kidding?
I just wondered if anybody knows what it is, it's called.
I've never heard of such a thing. You're making this up.
I am not. I'm not. I mean... I've been in quite a few phone boxes using the internet.
I bet you have.
And, it's just that, you wonder whether you're going to get it or not, because you don't always get it. I don't know how whether it's on a timer, whether it tells you that you're in the phone box.
Yeah, maybe it's... maybe it's an olfactory sensing device.
Yeah.
And you walk in, it's like, oh, blimey, this bloke again. Psst.
Yeah, you could be right there, Nick, but I just wondered, it's such a distinctive aroma, smell, or whatever you want to call it, and I'm sure that maybe somebody from the post office or the phone boxes Because, you know, they got a special name for it.
I didn't realise they still had phone boxes.
Oh, phone boxes are great these days.
No, they're not.
Oh, they are. I mean, the internet ones are great. I mean, provided you work out what you want to do before you go in there.
Right, you can't just sit there with a cup of coffee and a sandwich.
No.
Principally because there's no seat. But
No, that's right.
You can't, like, loll around and, you know, have a phone call with your mates.
You can't
and
have your
just chat.
friends in, you know, like that.
You're watching TV with one eye and...
I did get there was a knock on the door when I was using it a couple of weeks ago, and the guy said to me, "You've got to pick up the handset, mate." And I said, "I'm using the internet." "Oh, sorry." I think he thought I was a foreigner who just arrived and didn't know how to use a phone box.
I thought it was just international terrorists who used the
No, I'm not an international terrorist. No.
Untraceable it is.
No, it's great. It really is. It's for me, and I'm sure for a lot of people, it's just perfect.
So what are you looking up on the internet there, Phil?
No, I'm sending emails that I've got, and also I'm checking up other things, that I need to find out.
Checking on people.
It's really interesting. You also, Nick, mentioned about the wives of the England team.
Yes.
Well, I was in the supermarket the other day, and they have these magazines printed by the various stores.
Yeah.
And there was a competition in there. It said if you bought a certain product, you were given a scratch card. And if you scratched it off and you were a winner, you got to go out shopping with Colleen. And that's true as well. I'm not making that up. I don't know how much you got to spend with her, but I had her picture on the front of the magazine, and it said that if you were the lucky, you scratched it off and you got, I don't know what it was because I didn't buy the product, but when you got 3 pictures of Colleen, then you can go out shopping with her.
Right. Can I go out shopping and she doesn't show up? That would be my preference.
I don't know. Maybe that's the second prize.
Yeah, you just carry on your normal activities, and Colleen?
Is it Colleen, isn't it? Colleen? Yeah.
Whatever.
Maybe Wayne comes along. Maybe, her boyfriend comes along,
Struth, let's hope not.
Yeah, it would be quite a thing. Also, one other thing, Nick, I don't want to hog the line, but some of the newspapers this morning had free bets in them.
They did?
Yeah, you cut out a voucher, and you go in the bookies, and you could have a £1 free score bet on the England game.
And?
Well, I cut mine out, and I went into the bookies.
Well, there's a story here. Go on.
And I decided I would have, the score would be 0-0.
Yeah.
And there would be no goal scorer, naturally. I handed it over the counter with my £1. I'm going back tomorrow to get me winnings.
Yeah, but they'll say, it wasn't 0-0.
No, it's 90 minutes. All bets in bookies are 90 minutes. So I've won.
They'll wriggle out of it some way.
They won't.
What's the odds? No, I mean, not what are the odds on them wriggling out of it. What are the odds that you bet on?
I said to the guy, is that right? He looked at my, because I don't go there very often.
No.
I've got a free bet, I'm all right for that. And he said, yeah, that's right. He said, 90 minutes though. I said, oh, righto.
And so what do you win?
Yeah, I've worked it out. I think I've worked it out. I think I'm going to get about 32 quid.
Well, so it's 32 to 1?
Well, what it was 6 to 1 for 0-0.
Yeah, well, you get £6 then?
Yeah, but it was also 6 to 1 for no goal scorer.
What, 0-0 you mean?
Yeah.
Well, I think that's 6 quid.
I think you could be right, Nick.
Yeah.
But as I say, I'm hoping I'm going to get 32.
All right, well, the best of luck with that, Phil.
OK, Nick, thanks very much.
Don't hold your breath, mate. This is LBC. I'm Nick Abbott, and, you worked it out. 6 times 6. Yeah, right, that'll happen. Let's go with, Pinner, Kellyan.
You said my name correctly there.
Well, is it pronounced as it's spelled? Kellyan.
Well, some people spell it, some people say it wrong, but you got it spot on.
I'm virtually a genius.
You're not too bad, actually.
A wild stab in the dark, that's what that was.
Yeah, you're doing better than England, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, I haven't been sent off yet.
Oh, man, I don't know what happens to England as they come together as a team. There's just no finesse, no grace, no elegance. It's just so boring to watch. I mean, I've watched most of the matches, and, being British or English, whatever, I've wanted, my team, to do well. I don't watch Premiership and all that nonsense.
Being English, British, whatever.
Well, you know, my parents are from South America, and you know, there's just this big thing about, you know, if I'm English or if I'm British. So, you know, it's just this big deal. So.
Well, you're neither.
I'm neither. But what am I then?
Neither.
I'm.
Where were you born?
I was born here.
Here?
Yeah.
Well, then you're from here.
But my parents are from South America.
Oh, never mind about them. You're English, mate. English. Say it with me. I'm English.
I'm English.
There you are. You see? Don't you feel better?
And not exactly.
Not really.
No. We've
failed
lost
again.
Today. We did lose, so I can't really say I do.
Yeah, well, in 15 minutes' time, more or less, it will be yesterday, and we don't want to cry about yesterday, right? All you have to do is wait another 16 and a half minutes, and it'll be, it'll be history, mate. We can be upset for another 15 minutes, and then that's it. We have to move forward. Will you do that with me?
You can tell the press and media that one.
I wonder how they're going to take. In fact, we'll know how they're going to take it because we'll get the papers just after midnight. You want to rush down and get those, Gary? So I'll be quite interested in how they're going to take on this, because when David Beckham got sent off, he was a pariah. Well, you don't have to go now. I'm sure they're not here now. It's just
going to ask if they were here.
Okay, well, ask away. Sure, why not? But I won't read them until after midnight, because you can't read tomorrow's papers today. You have to read today's papers today. Does that make sense? More or less, yeah.
Yeah, you got to read today's paper today.
Yeah.
When they do come in today.
So which is the best, the most impressive wag? Wag?
Wag?
Yeah, wag. Wives and girlfriends. Wife and girlfriend.
What's the most? Is it? What's the question?
Which paper do you read?
I tend to listen to the radio. In actual fact,
you don't read the papers. Good for you, mate. There's nothing good in them.
Yeah, I don't read the papers. I either listen to radio for news.
Well, there's been this gigantic, I don't know whether I should say it, bitch fest with the women, with the wives and girlfriends, not amongst themselves, but the papers are ramping this up because they've had precious little else to write about from the British camp. You know, the players get up, they have a bowl of porridge and a glass of pomegranate juice, and then they go and, I don't know what it is they do, lounge around. They don't practice spot kicks, that's for sure. And so they've been talking about their wives and girlfriends. And this was, sometimes it's almost worth picking up the red top tabloids just to tut and raise your eyes to the roof. You've got no idea what I'm talking about, do you? All the wives and girlfriends were over there. This is probably the reason they were so rubbish, because they were having sex with their, chosen partners too much.
Well, I'm sure, you're going to get people that going to want to have some fun, that's just the way how the world is anyhow.
Well, girls just want to have fun, that's what Cyndi Lauper said.
They want to have fun, but I mean, these guys do work very hard.
Sure they do, yeah.
But they play football throughout the whole year, and then obviously they, after 4 years, they come and try to show their skills. I mean, one lady earlier was talking about Lampard, which was talking the absolute truth. I mean, what in the world was he doing on that pitch?
Well, he was having an off day. I think he's carrying a bit of weight. Did he look a bit fat to you? I think he looks a bit fat. I mean, the crowd used to cry. The crowd used to rib him about it, didn't they? I don't think Chelsea crowd did, but when he was playing other teams, they used to. I can't remember what the chant was. It was probably disgusting. But
he was having an off day, mate.
Huh? Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was.
He was having an off World Cup.
Well, all right. Yeah, maybe.
He should have been in it. It's like bliming Heskey 4 years ago.
See, everyone is a manager. And everyone would have made the right decisions in retrospect.
Listen, what I'm talking about is absolute fact, right? When England comes together, I don't know what in the world happens to them, but they look so dry, they look so boring. There's no rhythm to what they're doing. What it is
you think that they almost had never met each other before, but most of them play. Right. Most of them play for like one or two teams. Two teams you could get most of our England team play for just two teams. So they play with each other all the time. Oh, here we are back on the Gay Pride March again. They play football with each other all the time. Maybe they need some more changing room bonding. They should think about that.
Well, I don't know if you want to go down that road. I don't necessarily want to go down that road.
No. We better stop right there, eh?
Yeah, we'll just keep it on the field. We'll just keep it on the green grass.
Yeah, all hugs must be done in public. But anyway, look, thanks a lot, Kellyanne. We're going to have to get off this subject sooner or later, otherwise we're never going to get out of this funk.
Abbott.
Well, sometimes you see a page in one of the rabid tabloids, and you can barely believe that anybody would print it, let alone give a whole page to it. There's an entire page in the Mirror yesterday that had a gigantic picture of Posh Spice. Why does she always have her mouth open when she has a picture taken? She's always looking, I don't know, like she's trying really hard to work out something that Einstein said. She's always got her mouth open and in a sort of like a pout, but an open-mouthed pout. I guess it pulls your cheekbones out, right? It sucks your cheeks in. Not that she really needs to. And Alex is trying to do that. That was lovely. You look gorgeous. Do you mind me saying that?
Thank you.
But yours looks kind of a bit. I guess it would suck your cheeks in, but she doesn't need to do that. She's got no fat on her body. I've seen more fat on a lettuce sandwich. But it just highlights your cheekbones, I guess. But you can't see her cheekbones because she's wearing sunglasses the size of a car windshield. You can barely see her behind them. But in every photograph you ever see of this woman, she's got her mouth open and she's going, ugh, like that. Go, ugh. They'll pull your cheekbones out. Go on. Do it.
I'm not doing it again.
And the story underneath. Here's a stunning way to remind your rivals you're still Queen of the Wags, as in wives and girlfriends. Posh Spice went shopping in London yesterday, wearing a black leather miniskirt and revealing tight satin top to remind young upstart Carly Zucker just who's boss when it comes to the glamour stakes. Hands up who knows who Carly Zucker is. Anybody? No? New wag on the block, Carly, 24, tried to steal Victoria's thunder. Now, okay, think about this. She tried to steal Victoria's thunder by jogging in a skimpy top near the England team's Baden-Baden hotel on Tuesday. Her cheek clearly rattled 32-year-old Posh, who moved swiftly to put Joe Cole's girlfriend firmly in her place. Many a wag has tried and failed to knock the former singer off her throne by parading around in eye-catching outfits, and Carly joins the growing list of those who may look fantastic, but just can't compete with old hand Posh's vast experience of grasping the headlines. Victoria was in central London, buying a present for Jerry Halliwell's new baby, who's called Bluebell Madonna. Oh, good grief. Will a celebrity please give their child, just one celebrity, a normal name? Bluebell Madonna Halliwell. I mean, really. There's a troubled childhood just beckoning. I think a rehab. I can see a rehab. She later took it around to her former group mate's house, blah, blah, blah. Victoria was really excited as she hadn't seen the baby. She brought her a Bible. Really? But the story is that a woman went jogging in Germany, in, jogging attire, and Posh Spice in London fought back by wearing a skimpy... It's not even in the same country. That is proper crazy, isn't it, Jethro?
Oh, yeah, sorry. It's my turn to talk now.
Off the scale nuts. Go ahead.
All right, can I? Well, are we allowed to talk about football, or we've got to change the subject?
Oh, I'd be happy to talk about anything else.
Oh, well, I'll start off with... Well, you know the Oedipus complex?
Yes.
Are you married?
No.
No, So are you still suffering from it?
You upset?
No, not really. No, it wasn't.
Well, Jethro, we could go out a couple of times. Maybe we could work something out.
Just be friends.
Yeah, all right. Just be friends. Yeah.
That's whenever I ask her that, that's what normally. At the end of the evening, it says, "I like you very much, but I just want to be friends."
But yeah.
But I just wondered whether it actually goes in the end. If you got married, because there's something psychological called transference, isn't there?
Oh, isn't that when you fall in love with your therapist?
Oh, is it?
I believe so. Transference. Yeah.
It's misplaced emotional kind of like output, really.
Yeah, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. But why do grown men cry when they lose a football match. What? I don't quite understand that because...
I don't understand where this call's going. First of all, you were like, something about the Oedipus complex.
Yeah.
Let's take one thought at a time.
Okay.
Right. Now,
Okay.
go ahead. Oedipus complex, yes.
Well, I just know that, Freud, because I try to be going down your route of study, that Mr. Freud in his Vienna studios used to do lots of neurotic middle-class Austrian housewives, and he decided that every boy had a certain desire for his mother, didn't he? And I just thought I'd keep you on familiar territory. You seem to be worried about the football, and it'd be a bit boring. So I thought we'd go back to something you studied at university.
Back to first principles. Having sex with your mother and killing your father, yes. Nothing more natural, right.
So it occurred to me that perhaps a healthy conclusion to Oedipus might be that you'd actually start to be attracted to your spouse. And in a sense, you transferred, your attraction from your mother once you actually were hitched in that legally binding contract, and you had to pay the mortgage and everything. And, if you're lucky, you had a little bit of how's your father every so often. That you actually transferred your sexual interest from your mother to your spouse.
Right. How is your father, by the way?
Oh, he's probably having a whiskey by now.
Good for him. Drowning his sorrows like all the rest of us. Yeah.
Oh.
So your wife is the substitute for your mother because you can't bring yourself to have sex with your mother. Is that what you're saying?
I'm asking you. You're the authority.
Oh, yeah. Having a degree in psychology doesn't mean to say that you actually know anything about the subject.
Right, can we just go back? You were the man who's just stated, I've only got another 8 minutes to talk about this horrible subject. Tomorrow will be history, thank God.
Yes.
Can't we talk about something else? So,
yes.
I mean, you were the one who invited a different, effectively, by implication, invited a different subject, didn't you?
But could you have picked a different, a subject less contentious than having sex with your mother? That's grief.
It's not an original idea. It was Mr. Freud back in the late 1800s, I think.
I know, he was nuts.
Right, well, that's really reassuring. Half the trained psychologists and psychiatrists in the world have been brought up on teachings by a nutter. That's brilliant. Thanks a lot.
Well, I don't think that he's taught much these days. Of course, I could be completely wrong. I haven't looked at a psychology book. Well, you know what? I didn't really look at a psychology book when I was studying the subject, so I've got precious little idea of what I'm talking about. But when I was studying it, they were saying, well, we'll tell you about what he said, but we don't really believe any of that freaky lunacy anymore.
Right, but he was just a father of the subject because he started it off.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, he was in the right place at the right time. Yeah. He was a nut.
So why do grown men cry when they lose football matches?
It's
Is it because they have to show their sort of quiche side, their sort of cheesy quiche side.
It's an outlet of emotion. If you're Wayne Rooney, you'll thump someone. If you're an ordinary human being, you'll just let it out by crying. Little tears of sadness.
Yeah, because it's not as though they're faced with great tragedy tomorrow, is it? I mean, they're not going to be made redundant, face unemployment, have a sort of family trauma, or face the prospect of famine, are they? Because they're going to go back to their £100,000 a week secure jobs in the Premiership, aren't they?
Well, unless they were watching the match in Ethiopia, yeah. But anyway, listen, Jethro, I'm past a break again, and I absolutely cannot do that anymore. I've been told off.
That's the nicest way of saying goodbye I've heard for ages.
Yeah, okay, goodbye.
Take care, bye.
Now.
Hey, you know who I've missed tonight?
You missed?
I missed, and I had tickets for this, and backstage passes.
Yeah, I heard.
I missed Roger Waters doing Dark Side of the Moon.
It is such a cool song.
Song?
Cool. That is really cool.
There is no song called Dark Side of the Moon.
It's the album.
In fact, there is no Dark Side of the Moon. As a matter of fact, it's all dark.
Well, but the album is Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah.
And there's a song called Dark Side of the Moon or not?
No, there is no song called Dark Side of the Moon. But thanks for playing.
Well, but money.
Money.
Money!
But I'm going to go and see The Who tomorrow, and nothing will stop me.
Who?
Yeah, exactly. Saw them last in 1976. It was the second gig I ever went to. So it's still one of the best concerts I ever saw. It was in Glasgow, in Celtic Park. Absolutely phenomenal. Second gig I ever saw. I was like 16 at the time, and it was the Who put the boot into it. It was the Who, supported by the sensational Alex Harvey Band, who I saw a week previously. It was the first gig I ever saw, and still one of the best. Oh, the sensational Alex Harvey Band were, just beyond great as a live act.
You are passionate.
Yeah, I am. And the Chapman Whitney Streetwalkers, they were also supporting, and Little Feet were on the bill, and that's about as much as I can remember. It was a phenomenal day. Of course, it won't be as phenomenal tomorrow, because they're much older, and so am I, and I won't be out of my mind excited, but I will be there.
You know what? I was never really a Who fan.
No, me either.
But
great live.
One day, the girl of the girls' band, the bass player, came to me and said, "Oh, we are going to meet John Entwistle on the music fair in Frankfurt." And I said, "Who?" And in actual fact, we met him because he was a creator of a model. I think it's what...
Hey, you know what, Tallulah? We completely run out of time. Oh. But maybe you can call with that story on... Right, so the papers are in, and here's my prediction. I'm just going to... I haven't actually looked at the front pages of any of them yet, but I predict... Now, you remember the last time when David Beckham got sent off and supposedly ruined our chances of securing a victory because he tapped that guy. He was prone, face down, and he tapped that bloke on the leg, and the guy went down like he was poleaxed. And he got sent off. And then it was just mayhem broke out, and he was the worst person who ever wore the England shirt, or indeed who ever existed. And the press were baying for his blood, and then, as were everybody else, and they'd all read it, and then suddenly his effigies were hanging from lampposts, and it was a nightmare for the bloke. He was sick as a parrot and totally gutted, both at the same time. I predict that the same thing will not happen to Drain Rooney. I just don't think that they're going to do it. I think it will be, what a shame, never mind. But I don't think they're going to... I don't think they're going to have it in for Wayne Rooney at all. Shall I take a peek now to see if I'm right, or shall I hold on to it?
Wait a little bit.
Wait a little bit.
Let the suspense take you.
Right.
I'm not sure where though.
Well, are you... Are any of these people ready to speak to?
I'll get someone.
He's just been sitting with his feet up, having a cigar, just completely relaxing, and, not busy at all. One of my favourite columnists in the papers, and even if you don't buy the Telegraph, he's always worth it, is Craig Brown. And he's written a column today which is titled The Little Column of Summer Chaos. Part 1. And he's written these little pieces as though they were poems that don't rhyme. What's a poem called that doesn't rhyme again? I didn't really pay much attention to it.
Not very good one?
A not very good poem is the correct answer. And the first one, I'll just read a couple of these. These are little poems that don't rhyme, not very good ones, you're quite right, about summer. Yum Yum is the title of this one. Food tastes so much better on a barbecue. Sausages, steaks, burgers, kebabs, nothing like it. So you just get out the matches and strike, no luck. And strike, no luck. And strike, no luck, 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 and strike, and... I've got a great idea. Let's cook it all inside. Food tastes so much better cooked properly. It's, Wimbledon. Actually, Wimbledon.
Uh-huh.
Irene.
It's not Irene, it's Eileen.
Eileen.
Uh-huh.
Can I call you Irene?
No.
Oh, go on, dear.
I'd like to commiserate with you and your team's pathetic performance. No, I don't mean that. I was rooting for them the whole way, right?
You were?
Yeah.
Why do I disbelieve that?
Yeah, but I'll tell you something, I have never seen such a pathetic
display.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
And I'll tell you something else.
Go on, then.
I think there's too much about the Wags. They should be concentrating on their game.
Yeah, now, correct me if I'm wrong, you almost certainly will. Were they staying in the same hotel as the footballers? There can't be many five-star hotels in that area. So if they were, I would have called that a Oh, God, my brain's completely stopped. What do they call it when somebody, when you're going one way and somebody... I can't even describe the word that I'm trying to get to. It's a distraction. Oh, yes. Finally I got there.
And plus the fact, I am sick of opening up the newspaper.
Yes.
And it's Posh, who has spent £1,500 getting her hair done.
Yeah.
And then this pathetic thing about taking a 3-year-old to see Mamma Mia.
What's wrong with that?
Or what's she trying to prove?
What's she trying to prove? What's wrong with taking a 3-year-old to Mamma Mia? Mamma Mia.
Because she's trying to be better than the rest of them, the Collins and the Swin and that. But however...
Oh, come on, Eileen. Cut her a bit of slack. She's just taken the kid to the theatre, that's all.
I've heard all this from Ian.
Have you?
Uh-huh.
Well, when will you ever learn?
No, but I'll tell you something else. I did support them, but I think I've never seen such an impassionate person as Sven.
Yeah, he's calm.
No, he's not calm. He sat there, not one bit of blood in him.
Oh, that's not true.
No. I sat here and watched that game today, and I was roaring for them. And I thought, that man, he just sat there.
Well, you know what? It doesn't make... just roaring and shouting doesn't make you a good...
no, you egg on your team.
Well, they should be able to egg themselves on. Blimey, they get paid enough.
Oh, well, don't they have?
You know, the manager can just pick the players, and then it's up to them. They play in more or less the same area as they do for their teams, and then it's down to the players on the pitch. If they fail, it's not the manager's fault, it's their fault.
No, well, what I feel is, as a Scottish person, right, I feel they've got world-class players, but they are not a world-class team.
No, that's quite right, yeah. As soon as they pull on the England shirt, they become bozos.
Uh-huh. But, however, to end on a happier note, my wee boy has got through in the tennis.
Who?
Andy.
Your wee boy is Andy Murray?
Uh-huh.
Get out.
Yeah.
Oh, you're making it up, Eileen.
No, I live in Wimbledon.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And he is the only Scottish thing I've got to be proud of.
But he's not your actual son, though.
No, but...
No, metaphorically, yeah.
No, but he's still my wee boy. And at this moment in time, I'm glad I'm Scottish.
At this moment in time, he's adding to his security, Eileen.
What do you mean?
Well, if you're scaring me, you must be really putting the wind up him.
No.
He's not your boy. Just let it go, Eileen.
But I'm sorry you never won.
Really?
Yes, but I've seen cars all round about Wimbledon where they're taking their English flag.
Taking them all down, yeah. I think it's a shame. I quite like them. I would be happy to see flags flying all the time. You know, in America, if you go into rural America, virtually every house has got a flagpole, and they're always running it up and down and never allowing the flag to touch the ground, otherwise they've got to burn it, and, they're passionate about it.
But do you know what I would hate? I'd really hate is tomorrow, not from the newspapers you're reading out, I'd hate if English supporters really discredit.
Turned on drain?
I just wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
I'd feel really
There's
bad.
going to be a little bit of it. But, you know, when I was watching it, it's almost like you didn't feel the same kind of, oh, no, what have you done, you idiot, that you felt when David Beckham tapped that guy on the back of the leg and fell over as though he'd been...
I actually screamed at him. I screamed at him.
You screamed at drain?
I screamed at the bloody, excuse me, Beckham, he's the captain.
Oh, him.
What the hell was
But did you scream at drain?
Uh-huh.
You did too, right. You're a screamer?
No.
A little bit.
No, I get carried away with it. But I'll tell you something.
And another thing.
What?
Go on.
Before I go...
Before you go?
Before I go, my friends who are all English have said to me that at least if Scotland, which we will never, ever, ever do, right, we'll never get through the World Cup.
Ever.
But at least...
You'll never lose in the World Cup. You'll have lost way before.
But when we go abroad, we are well known for the Tartan Army, with our kilts and our bagpipes, and we do not throw chairs and bottles and...
That's actually not true, Eileen. Come off it. The Scottish fans when Scottish fans used to come down for the game with the old enemy.
Oh, where you go? That's years ago.
Well, exactly. But reputations take a long time to change.
But I've got a few English friends who are saying, "Oh my God, tomorrow it'll be mayhem."
No, I don't think so. I haven't looked at the papers yet, but I don't think that... I think we're going to shrug our shoulders as a nation and think,
I do not think so.
Because I don't think that any of us believed we were going to make it anyway.
I went to one pub, right, in Wimbledon, to see the other, not this game, the other game, and they had all these pathetic Spitfires. And they're all Hitler and all this. And what the hell is that about?
Hitler?
Uh-huh.
What are you talking about?
Because the English fans are all against Germany. They're in Germany, the host nation.
Yeah, and they had Hitler. What do you mean, Hitler? What, pictures of him? They were dressing up as him?
Spitfires.
Spitfires?
Blown up Spitfires.
Yeah. Oh, can you get a blow-up Spitfire?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I'd like one of those.
Have you not seen one of them?
The most beautiful plane that ever existed. Certainly the best-sounding plane that ever existed.
But I'll tell you something that makes me angry. My two brothers died in the war, right? Older brothers than me. They died in the war. And if they were here, they would be rooting, I don't know, not for England.
No. I thought you were going to try and convince me of that for a second there, Eileen. I can you barely convinced me that you were rooting for us.
I was. I swear to God.
You're rootin' tootin'. Anyway, the best of luck with whatever it is you plan to do for the rest of your life. What do you plan to do for the rest of your life, Eileen?
I'm going to root for money. I'm going to get... I'm going to sit in Murrayfield Hill.
Right. Is that what they're calling it now? Oh, blimey. Now that Timmy is a lost cause...
Oh, he's been a lost cause for ages.
Now we're rooting for Andy. Yes. Well, at least his name ends in an E, and we don't have to make it silly and babyish. All right, well, listen, thanks a lot, Eileen.
Okay.
And the best of luck with your rootin'.
Steve Allen wants to know it.
Right, I'm going to get into the papers in a second, but first, it's Adrian.
Hello, Nick.
From Burton-on-Trent.
How are you doing?
All right, mate.
Right. Yeah, the only thing I want to say about it is I had to waste a damn holiday because of that. Not because I wanted to watch it, because everybody in the factory I work at wanted to watch it, and I couldn't be left on my own.
What, and they made you take a holiday for it?
Well, it's either that or no pay.
That's awful.
But,
not even a half day, a whole day.
Well, I've had 2 half days, actually, so...
Well, you could have come in and, swept or something, cleaned the toilets.
No, I mean, the thing is, I think they're worried that you'll fall over and injure yourself.
Oh, health and safety. Oh, Struth, not that again.
But never mind.
Not allowed to do anything in this silly country because of health and safety. And does anyone feel safer these days?
No.
No.
Yeah, phone boxes, I remember them. Somebody's on about phone boxes.
I remember them. Well, it's true. You just don't see them anymore, do you?
No, I mean, for mobiles, now I know some people will find it a shock. You used to have to actually use them.
That's right. You know what? Not so very many years ago, no one had a mobile phone, and if you wanted to make a telephone call, you had to actually go into a telephone box.
Oh,
and life seemed to continue. It's it's wend its merry way, and we weren't massively inconvenienced. These days, every single person in this entire country is wandering around with a phone clamped constantly to their ear, like every word they utter has to be heard by other people.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in some phone boxes at the time, but they didn't smell of perfume. They did smell, but...
For a little while there was there were these empty phone boxes, because a lot of... when they freed all the business up for competition, there's a company that used to have orange phone boxes. They were hideous. Why this country ever allowed them to install such things, I don't know. I mean, if you go to Italy, Italy still looks beautiful because they've kept it pretty much the way it always used to be. In this country, our high streets have been raped virtually by big business who come in and just do whatever they like, regardless to the consequences to how it looks. But anyway, they put these hideous boxes that weren't really even... Some of the boxes and some were on poles, and then the company promptly went out of business, and they just left them there. Which was worse than if they had been if they had phones in them. They were just like dead shells littering the high street.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I saw a phone box. Mind you don't look for them anymore, do you?
No, I mean, that'd be the trouble you had if your phone went flat, you needed to make a call, you'd struggle, wouldn't you?
Well, you know what, if your phone went flat and you needed to make a call, you would probably realise that you don't need to make that call.
Yeah.
I'm on my way home, dear.
They are evil things, I mean, when you did have to use on this time of year, it's just like terrible, like a small enclosed space. People have been in before you. With it stuck
Yeah. But I can't believe they actually have perfume dispensers in there. Is that true, or is he making it up?
I don't know, because I've not been in... That's just a reminder, I've not been in one for... It's got to be 10 years since I've been in one.
It's quite hard to believe, isn't it? Just 20 years ago, we didn't have the internet, we didn't have mobile phones, and we didn't have emails, or anything. If you wanted to write to somebody, you had to write it in, and this is probably going to sound like something that's insane. People under the age of 30 won't have the faintest idea what I'm talking about. You used to have to write a letter down on paper that you posted. When was the last time you got an envelope that was handwritten? Never. No one ever gets an envelope that's handwritten anymore. Most envelopes come with windows. I hate those envelopes.
Yeah. Hey, it's all like stuff with like bank loans.
It's all bad news. Anything that comes with a window is bad news.
I've actually read... I must have been bored one day the other day. I read a bank loan one. That says you can cover your loan in case of unemployment or loss of life. I thought, who cares? I don't care.
Yeah, quite right. If you lose your life, it's someone else's problem. Yeah. But before you lose your life, make sure you spend every single penny.
Oh, can I just mention I know you don't like this celebrity, but have you heard about an accident that David Hasselhoff had?
Now, hang on a moment, because, yes, I have Hasselhoff. I bet I've got more Hasselhoff news than you have. One moment, please. Where is it? Oh, I can normally put my hand on everything that I bring in. Oh, no, don't tell me I've left it at home. Hasselhoff. Where is he?
You'll have to do it Monday.
Maybe I will, yeah. Hasselhoff. Ah!
You've got it.
Now, what was your story?
It's about him cracking his head and injuring his... How did he crack his head and injure his hand, by the way?
Baywatch star David Hasselhoff was taken to hospital after a bizarre accident at a London hotel yesterday. David, 53... He's looking good on it, isn't he? He's probably had everything done, right?
Yeah.
He was shaving at the 5-star Sanderson, get this, when he accidentally banged his head on a low-slung chandelier.
Oh, no. Yeah,
shaving? They have a chandelier in the bathroom. Shards of glass cut his right arm, severing a tendon. Oh, come off it.
Jumping off the toilet, methinks.
Well, that doesn't sound likely. So imagine this: you're shaving in the bathroom, and there's a chandelier. There would be a chandelier in the bathroom is unlikely. That it would be low slung is even less likely, right?
Yeah.
And he banged his head on it, causing a shard of glass to sever itself from the chandelier and into his arm, severing a tendon. Oh, come off it. That doesn't sound likely at all. Last night, a spokesman for the actor said he was out of hospital and ready to continue his work.
Oh, God.
He's filming an advert for a British internet company.
Nice.
The Hoff. I've got more news. You might be thrilled about this.
Go on.
What is this, the obsession with David Hasselhoff that you got, by the way? This is just freaky.
Hey, mate, no, it's not David Hasselhoff, it's the Night Rider show. Oh.
Well, that's even worse. I mean, it's not Baywatch, Knight Rider, the one with the silly car.
You like Big Brother, so you can't judge really well.
That's a good point, yeah. The Hoff has never been one to shy away from the limelight, but after a recent resurgence, filming a software advertisement and a new television show in America, he's going to be doing a Simon Cowell show in America, isn't he? He's going to be a judge.
Yeah, but...
It should come as no surprise to hear that the former Baywatch star is planning David Hasselhoff, the musical. I've already arranged and written it with the guys who did Chicago, he says. What, Kander and Ebb? Are they still alive? I love musicals. That's what I started off doing when I was just 7. But would his fan base be large enough for such a project? Questions the Telegraph. If you Google my name, he says, you'll find, guess how many? That's right, 3,500,000 references.
Yeah, once he voted, like, the internet's most searched something, I can't remember, it's just...
Is he?
Flipping made-up things.
It's been wonderful to see how many calls I got recently saying, hang in there, you'll be back. Like Arnie. Just try that. Have you got, hey Gary, have you got Google up there? Just Google David Hasselhoff and we'll see if he's a liar. Google.com. Come on, faster, boy, faster. www.google.co.uk. That'll do. David Hasselhoff. Spelt H-A-S-S-E-L-H-O-F-F. You spelt it wrong.
No, I haven't.
No, you haven't. You're correct. Now, how many have we got? Oh, you know what? 4,470,000 results. Put my name in there and see how many you get. See if I can beat the Hoff. Nick Abbott, 2 B's, 1 T. There you go. Click it. Click it. Oh, only 1,020,000. All right, he's got me beaten by a factor of almost 4. All right, David. The Hoff,
not bad, though.
The Hoff wins again. There you go, Aid. You'll be sleeping soundly in your bed tonight.
I was just thinking about the accident, like, what if it had killed him? That would have been better than anybody that's choked on their own vomit, wouldn't it?
A freak chandelier shaving accident. What a way to go. All right, thanks a lot, Aid.
I will go.
Ta-da, that's the way I want to go, by the way. This is LBC 97.3. I'm Nick Abbott. Let's have one in Finchley Road. Why not? Anthony.
Hello. Just before we come to that disastrous word, football, I just want to tell you, I said to my son today, he's going on to university, and I remember 20 years ago writing to my parents every Thursday a letter, telling them how the whole week went. And I said, son, wouldn't that be such a nice idea? Instead of phoning me or emailing me, you'd actually sit down and write me a nice letter.
What, did he laugh?
He was mad.
A letter?
A letter, Dad, a letter.
I know that you wrote it on Thursday, by the way, which was before the weekend and a long time after the previous weekend, so you could think of something to do, because you wouldn't want to tell them what you did at the weekend, right?
No, but it was just to give them the pleasure of the weekend. You had to make sure that the post, those days you used to have first and second class.
Right.
Remember? You just wanted to make sure that, you post on the Friday. It was those days were still guaranteed for Friday, on a Saturday, if you posted it on the Friday.
Give them something to amuse themselves over the weekend.
Yeah.
Always thinking. That's you, Anthony.
Yeah, but then you have also with the phones, you talk about it's actually not 20 years ago, it's not even 15 years ago, and now you can't, if it's not mobile phones, it's they got the Blackberries, and the problem is you haven't got enough time to think or reply. You have to give a reply. That's the horrible thing about the mobile.
Well, you know what? That's the thing with email is, because when you write a letter, you think it'll take a week to get there, and then they'll think about it for a week, and then a week to get back, and you don't expect a reply for at least a fortnight, right? But if you send somebody an email, and you don't get a reply that second, then you start to pull your hair out.
No, what you do is, the worst thing about it is, and I'm in business, is that people ring you and they say, did you get my email? Well, of course, if you sent an email, why the hell shouldn't you get it?
Well, but when you send something, you expect an immediate response, and when you don't get one, you think, well, maybe they didn't get it.
Yes, and so it is. The world has gone mad.
It's like you're expecting a phone call, and it's not coming, and so you call yourself on your mobile just to make sure that your phone's still working.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, that's how it's all gone mad. But we're being serious. I don't know whether you ever go around to the London phone boxes, which is a tragedy, is that they're all lined up with these horrible advertisement cards all over them, which is actually very, very sicky going into a phone box today. You got all these ladies advertise, and in fact I'm here on Baker Street, and more often I leave very late at night, and you can have these guys that pin up these cards all over the phone boxes, comes along another rival team, rips them all down, and then they put in theirs.
Well, Baker Street, notorious for it.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's finally my valued opinion for the football. Instead of having the best part of 500 million paper value players who literally disappointed the entire country. Remember, most people that watch football are the averages who, I don't mean to use the word average, but people who will never see such money in their life, but their whole heart goes into the national sport. We should be planning for 2008 in Europe.
Oh,
We should be taking some good boys off the street, training them to be good footballers. You've got 2 years now, not waking up 3 months before the Euro starts and say, hold on guys, we need to put together a quick team here, and we just pull a bunch of names, because they're absolutely useless as a team.
So I think you're talking about Brazil, aren't you? Scouting boys off the street and forming them into a team. No, that's Brazil. That was actually a phone call from Big Phil. Prostitutes, isn't it? It's because of its proximity to Baker Street. Oh, it's notorious, that entire area. It's because they clamped down in Fitzrovia. They all had to come south. If you're ever after some business, Harley Street, that's where you want to go and hang out. Just ask a policeman. He'll point you in the right direction. Right, let's have the papers then. Come on, now, I still haven't looked at them yet, but my prediction is it won't be all over Wayne Rooney and we want him to die, like they did at David Beckham. They just wanted him to flat-out die when he did that thing, you remember, when he kicked that guy who fell down like he'd been hit with a wrecking ball. I think we'll be sympathetic, and it will be pats on back all round, and oh well, better luck next time. That's my prediction. OK, let's find out. So we'll start with the Observer. The end. England pay the penalty after Rooney sees red. Well, that's fairly negative. Brown to face fresh assault on Scott's roots. That again. He's never... I don't know. Hands up who thinks that Gordon Brown is actually going to be Prime Minister for any length of time. Hands up who thinks it's a bit weird that somebody should become Prime Minister without us actually voting for him. That they should just swap around amongst themselves without consulting us. I think that's just bizarre, don't you? I mean, what is this, Russia? So they can just sort of make it up as they go along. Nobody voted for him yet. Ask us and we'll vote or not. It's
not supposed to be a president, is it?
Well, that's neither here nor there. We voted for Tony Blair.
We've supposedly voted for the party.
Nobody does that anymore. What you vote for is whether you like the person or not, which is why David Cameron, quite wisely, is not saying anything of any great importance, nothing that anybody would disagree with. So that's... And people are thinking, nice old ladies, saw him on Jonathan Rice, and they're oh, he's such a nice man, and then they'll go and vote for him. Not because he said anything, but principally because he hasn't. Because they just like the look of him. That's what we vote for now. Unfortunately, it's got just exactly like it is in America. You just vote because you think he's a nice guy. Because no one reads party manifestos anymore. It's got nothing to do with it. The politicking is neither here nor there. It's just whether you like him or not. He's got a nice smile. He did a nice thing on Richard and Judy. He went on there and he dropped his H's and threw a few glottal stops in there. And he's like one of the people. He's one of us. Oh, we'll really, we'll all pull together behind him and things can only get better. That's why people vote for politicians now. It's not for what they say, because they're pretty much all saying the same thing. Vote for me and the NHS will be safe in my hands. Vote for me and I'll really crack down on the hoodies and the hoolies. Vote for me and I'll clean your streets with my tongue. And nothing ever happens, and they're all lying, and we know that. We just so we just go with the one that we'd like to have a drink with.
So is that your manifesto? You'll clean the streets with your tongue?
Yes, I will. I will absolutely clean the streets with my tongue if you vote for me. That's my promise to you. And you can take that to the bank just as any other political promise. And that's why David Cameron is now more popular than some dour bloke from Scotland who the country seems to be indifferent about at best. But it just seems weird that we all voted for Tony Blair and we get someone else. Just when he's sick of doing it anymore, or when his party is sick of him doing it anymore, then they just fit someone else in. And we're looking around saying, hang on a minute, we didn't vote for this bloke. Am I the only person? Hands up now who thinks that's a bit weird. Everybody? No one? Oh, it's 100%. Well, we've got 100% in here, and that's a quorum. So it's passed. Motion passed. The Sunday Times. Oh no, not again. Yep. Rooney sees red and then England crumble. Oh no, not again. Not penalties. In a nerve... This is the Sunday Times. Blimey, they're getting a bit... I don't know, it's reading like a tabloid. In a nerve-shredding match of high drama, England yesterday lost to Portugal in the quarter-finals of the World Cup. David Beckham left the pitch injured and in tears. Wayne Rooney was sent off in the 61st minute, and England... and so on. Yeah... Tough new laws planned to punish whistleblowers. This is another thing that's always I've thought bizarre. Whenever somebody is in an organisation, usually governmental, and they're doing the wrong thing by us, they're misspending our money. And if you check back over most of what I bellyache about, it's usually about misspending public money. I just can't stand it. And they do it because they can. And somebody blows the whistle on such practices. The normal reaction of the organisation involved is, "Oh my goodness, he's quite right. We should stem this waste immediately." The reaction is not that. It should be that, but it isn't. The reaction is, "How the hell did this information get out? Let's kill the person who told them." Shocking. John Reid, the Home Secretary, is planning a new official secrets law, like they need another one, to punish intelligence officers who blow the whistle on government policy by leaking secret information. Great. That's the new open government in action, ladies and gentlemen.
Isn't this the government that said, let's have open government?
That's right. As long as we don't, as long as there's nothing that's released that will embarrass them. Which has been the case...
Which is everything, basically.
Everything, basically, is exactly right. Which has been the case with all governments throughout time. If they can keep it secret, they will. It's just that when you pretend that you're going to tell us and then don't, people get irritated. They should have just not pretended that they were going to tell us. If they just carried on not telling us, then no one would have expected it. Blair, a failure on crime, say 3 in 4 voters in the Sunday Telegraph. And the the football only gets a picture. Agony and ignominy, out on penalties again. You see, no one's really gunning for Wayne Rooney yet. Not in the broadsheets yet. Daily Express. Well, he might be going a bit over the top. End of the world, says the headline.
No one told us.
I know, yeah, it wasn't on the news, was it?
Yeah.
Maybe they're trying to keep it for... I'll be another state. If the world was actually going to end, they wouldn't tell us because it would be an official secret. It would be another tale of government incompetence because they didn't prevent the world ending and they'd rather we all died before we knew it. Well, why tell us anyway? We're doomed. England crashed out of the World Cup on penalties last night after a dramatic defeat by Portugal. 10-man England had battled to keep the dream after a wonder kid, Wayne Rooney, was sent off. You see, that no one's really gunning for him yet, just as I predicted. Sometimes I get tired of being so right all the time. The Mail, what are they upset about? It all ends in tears. With crushing inevitability, England's World Cup dream is shattered by fluffed penalties. But at least there's no more Sven. See, not a word of Wayne. He's not even on the front page of that. The Daily Star. Nuts. Nuts, exclamation mark. Picture of Wayne Rooney stamping on a man's parts. Nuts, and we pay the penalty. You see what they did there? They were up all night thinking about that one. News of the World. Tears and a clown. Ah, well, you see. Tears, picture of David Beckham crying, and a clown, picture of Wayne Rooney with his mouth open looking at a red card. The full heartbreaking story on pages... Well, it's on page 1. It's the only thing that's on page 1. Pages 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, plus a 24-page pullout. Good grief! You might as well not buy it. There won't be any boobs. Let's see what page we have to reach before there's any boobs in the News of the World. Not on 3, 4... Right, well, there's Sven's boobs, but they don't count. Sven's boobs on page 7. But I think that's a matted-in snap. 9, no. 10, 11, no boobs yet. OK, page 12. Giselle of a girl, gorgeous Giselle Bunchen, says fellas don't chat her up anymore, and she started to wonder if it's because she's losing her looks. Oh, yeah, right. They don't chat her up anymore because she's a squillion heiress, and her minders probably won't let them anywhere near her. The Sunday Mirror, our dream in ruins. You see what they did there? England battle to end after Ronaldo gets Rooney sent off. Aha! So it's Ronaldo that's going to get it, not the Roon. See, I was right. I just felt... and I didn't watch the game in a pub or anything like that. So I'm just going with my gut feeling. I've reached down deep inside of myself, and that's what I felt. And the peephole, finally. Torture gal.
Not the best one.
Weak, I think. I think the News of the World was Tears in a Clown, the News of the World.
I like that.
Nuts, and We Pay the Penalty, the Star. I think the Sunday Express got it. End of the World, as in the World Cup. End of the World, Daily Express. Who would have thought that the Express would come up with the best headline? Because, who buys the Express? Why would you buy the Express?
If you want a story about Diana.
Is it?
Every day there's a story about Diana. Looking at that, I'm sure there's a Diana story in the Express.
Shall I check, or can we be bothered?
No.
No. The peephole. So, Heather, you see, and only the peephole of the rabid tabs put something else on the front page. Cheat Jade's confession, as in Jade Goody. Jade Goody is the new Princess Di. Let's map how that went. First it was that woman who got married to a Kit Kat. Used to be a TV presenter and she got married to a Kit Kat. What was that? What was she called? Anthea Turner, that's right. First it was her, and then it was... Oh, how easily we forget. Then it was David Beckham. For a while, he was the new Princess Di, and by that I mean, on a short news day, just put him on the front page, or Anthea, for a little while there, for about 2 months, when they tried to convince her that we might be interested in this woman. They were madly scrabbling around, because there was a year after Princess Di died that she was still newsworthy. And then it was Anthea, because she looked vaguely alike, blonde. That was it. That's all they could come up with. And now it's now it's Jade Goody. Blimey, we really are scraping the barrel now, aren't we? From Princess Di, come to Jade. Yeah, well, this country's just going to the dogs, isn't it? And I don't mean that in relation to Jade, because that would be an unpleasant thing to say. Don't even think it.
Very unpleasant.
Awful. Soldiers, sick, sex, on stage with a stripper. Say that fast 10 times. I double dare you.
No.
Jade, I'm so sorry. Oh, there's many more boobs in here, I'm telling you. Heather's £10 million cut-price divorce. She won't fight Paul to win $200 million. Oh, go on, girl. Heart is set on a £2 million hideaway farm home. Couple vow to share access of their top beer. Now, you see, he's a squillionaire, and they didn't call their children stupid names, like Bob Geldof did. Pixie Frou-Frou and Peaches and... Oh, blimey, you stand it. Anyway, it seems that, just as predicted, they're not gunning for Rue. They're... our ire is going to be directed at the turnip-faced Portugal bloke, plays for Manchester United, who probably won't be playing for them for very much longer. Good riddance. Bye. Hello, Dave.
Hello there.
Dave.
Good evening. You know my subject, do you, on my topic?
Do tell.
Seeing as Nick Ferrari was running for mayor, I was thinking, what a good idea it would be to have a whole government made up of journalists.
No.
No?
A government made up of journalists?
Yeah.
Not even politicians are thought of with such ill will as journalists. Only estate agents and financial advisors are thought of less well.
So you don't think that would be a good idea?
Not a good idea, no. Why do you think it would be?
Well, because they're in touch.
With themselves?
Well, I mean, you know more than I do.
I doubt it.
But from what you read in the paper, they're outspoken. They don't mince their words. There's thousands of them in the country. They'd have to more or less do what they say, otherwise they'd have every pen in the country outgoing for them.
Yeah, I think that's a uniquely bad idea. Unless what you mean is we could round them all up and have them in the same building?
Oh, no, I don't
A
mean
surgical
that. No,
strike? Is that what you have in mind?
They have to do it on a voluntary basis and on selectivity, ones that were more capable, in government.
As in not paid?
I beg your pardon?
As voluntary, as in without monetary recompense?
Oh, no, you couldn't do that. They'd have to be paid whatever the going rate was.
Right.
They'd be politicians. But the thing is, they wouldn't be people like coming off of somebody's back for a cushy job and have started off maybe telling the truth, but in the end up join the rest of the crowd and become devious and liars and...
What, like journalists, you mean? You look to journalists for the truth? Oh, I think you're looking under the wrong stone there, Dave.
You don't think journalists tell the truth?
Well, no, not now, not ever, never. They just tell whatever they think will sell papers and get them to where they want to go.
Well, yeah, as I say, you know better than I do.
No, I doubt it, but I read papers. All you have to do is read a paper, and they'll say what is true one day, and then completely change their mind the next. Just like I do. And I'm not even a journalist. No, I think you've lost your mind, Dave. Have you lost your mind?
I hope not.
No, me too. Well, see if you can find it with both hands.
I'll have a good look.
All right. Cheers, Dave.
Cheers.
Ta-ta.
Bye.
Here's Kidbrook. Hello, Amy.
Oh, hello.
Amy.
All right. How are you?
I'm all right, thanks.
Good, good.
Kidbrook. Where's that?
Kidbrook, South East London.
Ah.
You know?
No, I don't know it. No.
It's near Greenwich.
Oh, Greenwich. Very nice.
Yeah.
Mind you, what's near Greenwich is not very nice. Is it very nice?
It's all right. I live
It's all right. Well, I'll take that as a no.
Yeah. Bit cruddy, really.
Cruddy, right.
You were talking about Joe Halliwell's baby earlier.
Yeah. What's it called? Bluebell Madonna.
My little girl's called Bluebell.
Bluebell?
Yeah.
Why'd you call it Bluebell? Her.
It. My daughter. It.
Well, at what age does a baby not become it anymore?
I think...
At what age does it cease to be it?
I think it stops talking, doesn't it?
When it starts talking, right.
Yeah, so I just thought I'd say that my little girl.
You're getting fainter, Amy.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah, much better. Why'd you call her... There I go again.
Call it Bluebell.
Why did you call her Bluebell?
Well, she was going to be called Bonnie Blue all through my pregnancy.
Bonnie
Blue.
Oh, Bonnie Blue.
Yeah.
Struth. Well, I guess you got off lightly.
Well, yeah, and so I got fed up with that, and I changed it right at the last minute.
And how long do you think it'll be before she gets fed up with Bluebell?
Well, she'll probably get bullied, won't she, at school?
Yeah, didn't you think about this?
Yeah,
I mean, why not call her a normal name?
Well, normal's boring, isn't it?
Normal will see you through school more easily than will Bluebell.
We'll see you through life, won't it?
Well, possibly, yeah. I mean, you've heard the Johnny Cash song of a boy named Sue.
No.
And look how he turned out.
No.
Oh, you want to stock up on your Johnny Cash there, Amy?
Maybe. Yeah, I should.
Bluebell.
Bluebell.
Middle name?
No middle name.
No middle name, right.
No, just Bluebell. BLU hyphen BELLE.
Oh, blimey, it just got worse. BLU hyphen BELLE.
Yeah.
Oh, Struth, Amy, that's awful.
I'm a bad mother.
You are a bad mother.
Evil mum, evil
Because
mum.
I'm thinking Bluebell, you know, BLUEBELL. I'm thinking, well, you know, that's not a bad name, but...
My next one is called Dandelion.
Well, why not Blue Tack? Struth, it's just awful.
Oh, no. But then I was only 17.
Dandelion, DANDILYON. Why don't you do that?
That's it.
You're only 17.
I was only 17.
Was.
I'm 21 nearly.
Oh, well, you're fully grown up. Maybe
it.
next time you'll make the right decision, eh?
Hopefully.
Yeah, well, we'll all...
Now I'm a woman.
We'll all live in hope. Thanks a lot, Amy.
See ya.
Ta-ta. Pity the poor children, eh? Here's Debbie in Hackney. Hello.
Hello, Nick.
Debbie.
Hi. You were talking about mobile phones earlier.
Yeah.
Mobile phones gone mad. So I saw something today. I thought, I don't know. I was in the park, and there were like 6 people lying on the grass enjoying the sunshine, but every single one of them was on a mobile phone. And I just thought, what is the point? You're out there together, you know, on this group thing, but you're all talking to someone else.
Yes. No, you see this all the time, and I think that people have properly lost their mind. You'll go out with someone, and they'll spend their entire time with you talking to someone else on the phone.
Yes, it is very strange.
It's almost as though we've lost the ability to converse with each other. We're losing the ability to have social interaction without some sort of mechanical device in the way.
Absolutely.
We're becoming weird.
It's so true. It's just so interesting. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know, I'm scared to go to sleep because I had a break-in yesterday, so I'm trying to keep myself up.
A break-in?
Yeah, last night. Well, it's probably sometime in the morning, but I'm like scared to go to sleep now because I keep thinking about it. Like, I'm weirded out that someone actually walked into my house.
They broke in or walked in?
I think they sort of like managed to get through the front door because the windows weren't touched. I don't know how they did it. They locked us off, and yeah, I don't know, very weird.
So you were in the house at the time?
Well, yeah, I was sleeping.
And you woke up?
No, I didn't. I'm glad I didn't wake up when they were there.
Well, how do you know they came in?
Scared. Well, because stuff was taken and
Oh.
around and yeah.
Well, that's bizarre. You were in the house. They didn't break anything to get in. They just waltzed through the front door and they took...
I don't know how they got into the front door, but stuff was definitely taken and moved around and like...
But do you live with anybody?
Yes, I'm a carer for an elderly person.
What? Was it the elderly person? What did it? It's possible. Might be sleepwalking.
Well, she can't really move.
Well, that's out then.
Yeah. It's very weird.
Maybe they gave the key to their work-shy nephew.
What?
Well, I don't know. I'm just throwing out possibilities.
Yeah, anyway.
Well, that's a nightmare. So you're going to be able to get to... do you feel comfortable there anymore?
Well, I guess I have to use it.
Have you had extra security measures put in?
Yeah, it's basically Fort Knox now, my front door.
Yeah.
But, I don't know.
Because we had our door kicked in. Fortunately, we were in at the time.
Yeah.
But someone of Polish extraction, I believe, was actually managed to kick his way through the door. I think the door was made of cardboard. And he just put his foot straight through.
Your house?
Yeah, flat. And now we are, like you say, like Fort Knox. I'd like to have the same person try it again. He'd break his foot.
Yeah,
They'd have no metatarsals left.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Come and have a go if you think you're hard enough. Well, the best of luck. I hope you feel, comfortable enough to actually pass out. If not, there's always booze. Think about it, Debbie.
All right, thank you.
All right, ta-ra. This is LBC.
The Amazing Adventures of
So, how many, 80 people got arrested in, Partenkirchen or Flackenwocken or wherever it is that they are. 80! How on earth do you go about arresting 80 people? That seems like a staggering amount of people to arrest, doesn't it?
Sounds like the average night out in Bromley, doesn't it?
I don't know. I've never been. I'll never go. But they were arrested, many for preventative reasons. Now, that would never happen in this country. Doesn't that sound like that's abusing their human rights? Preventative. What, they haven't done anything yet? That seems shocking, doesn't it?
They thought about throwing a chair.
Yeah, that's right. It's verboten. A little while ago, I was talking about Lorraine Kelly. You know, hello. She seems to know so nice and cuddly, like your mum or your mum's best friend. But when she writes in the Sun, she suddenly becomes Robo Lorraine. As you must when you write in the Sun. Everyone has to be, I don't know, nasty all the time. And here she's writing about Harry. If he doesn't clean up his act, Prince Harry could well end up on the Jerry Springer show as a right royal love rat or out-of-control party animal. This week he was on the town, again, with a former flame, and behaving for all the world like long-term girlfriend Chelsea didn't exist. Ruddy-faced Harry, looking rather the worst for wear. No, he doesn't. There's a picture of him right there. He looks completely fine. He was clubbing in the West End and had to be led out the back door when a brawl broke out in the nightclub. Nothing to do with him. Still guilty by association, right? He was later spotted leaving a friend's flat at 5 a.m. with his ex-girlfriend shrieking down the steps that he should give her a kiss. Where's my kiss? Harry had the presence of mind to mutter, not here, but for the young man supposedly head over heels in love with his South African long-distance girlfriend, the signs are not good. Blimey, is she ramping this up? William will be king one day, and has hardly put a foot wrong in the past few years. He's sensible, calm, and, he's sensible, calm, and has chosen a girlfriend who has never embarrassed him, or the rest of the royal family. They are being allowed a slow courtship that could well develop into marriage. Prince Charles doesn't want his son to be as miserable as he and Diana became. Why did he marry her, by the way? I mean, did they ever like each other? He was like 60 years old and she was 18, or more or less. What on earth did she see in him, apart from the hundreds of millions of pounds and all the fame? And what did he see in her, apart from this gorgeous, nubile young thing? You're right. It was never going to last. In contrast, Harry has lurched from one faux pas to the next. There were rumours of drug-taking, his excessive boozing, and that deeply insulting Nazi outfit. Harry is a bit of a loose cannon, but at 21 it's about time he sorted himself out. Oh, Lorraine, go easy on the bloke. Like you say, he's only 21.
On FM.
On DAB.